Revox Planet, the virtual reality game that's taking the world by storm, is dominating the global charts. Players have given it countless positive reviews for themes like space gates, superpowers, and invasion wars. This young man, Gu-hyun, also got drawn into the game, persuaded by his best friend, Nazian, only to find himself completely trapped in that world, the world that Reverse Planet had brought to life. In the Transcendent Project, aiming to create a unique pseudo-transcendent being, thousands of people were thrown into this insane black research. For those brought here, they conducted biological experiments to modify their bodies. After many experiments, only Subject 62, Gu-hyun, survived. Watching those around him gradually disappear, Gu-hyun vowed never to forgive those who made him this way. If this was reality, he would definitely live to get his revenge. And so, the plan began as warning sounds continuously rang out. All the innocent people imprisoned underground were determined to escape this hell. Even he shared that thought, believing that if he ran, light would welcome him, but reality is always cruel when everyone is blocked. The villain who blocked their new path was the chief of security for the laboratory. With insane words and a devil's face, he spoke words that ended their glimmer of hope. He exuded an oppressive aura that made everyone highly vigilant, and at that moment, the strong will, desire to live, and spirit of unity of the people surged. But on the contrary, the chief of security continuously uttered contemptuous words, saying that all foolishness must be paid for in the end. For him was a body covered in wounds. He paid with his life, with echoes of pain, but in that battle, many innocent people had to fall, leaving only Gu-hyun. The one who remained was the most heartbroken. In just a few days, he had to accept countless partings. Now, in Gu-hyun's eyes, there was only emptiness after all those events. The echoes of his friends' souls became a haunting obsession in his mind, and the urge for revenge grew deeper in Gu-hyun's heart. After escaping the lab, 1, 2, 3 years passed, a very long time, all for avenging those he loved. His hurried footsteps carried immense determination. Gu-hyun killed them again and again, becoming much more cold-blooded. He had honed powerful and decisive techniques. Now, Gu-hyun was no longer weak and in need of protection like before. But things kept happening, an endless cycle of revenge. His body was getting tired, and life had become meaningless. Just when he thought everything would end here, a system panel suddenly appeared. This was probably the only surprise he'd had in many years. It brought a special mission, eliminate the Transcendence Project, with the reward of a chance to return to his old world. After the brutal battle, the floor was a chaotic mess. One person knelt, trembling, questioning. After all this, why did it end up like this? I should be enjoying the glory right now, shouldn't I? Project Manager John Sandin, with a win on his face, yelled. Why? Test subject number 81, Kim Yang-jun, bent down and sneered. Don't tell me you really don't know. The manager shoved his hand away and snapped. Shut up, test subject 81. I won't talk to the likes of you. He looked at the young man with a dark face in front of him and gritted his teeth, calling out, Baekuhan. With a long scar on his cheek and a tired face, he was test subject 62 of the Transcendence Project, known as the Transcendent Baekuhan. No, better off, the manager had his neck squeezed by that hand, his face turning pale. But he kept babbling, You are the one who broke all limits of the flesh, reaching an extraordinary state, a true transcendent. You are the most perfect masterpiece the Transcendence Project has ever created. Anything, absolutely anything you desire, I'll offer to you. You are completely different from those idiots. Gu-hyun coldly raised his arm, refusing. I don't need it. The general manager still wouldn't give up. Wait, besides that, you fool, do you think killing me will end everything? The corporate alliance will definitely not spare anyone who dares to show their fangs to them, not just you guys, but your families, relatives. And colleagues will also suffer the same fate. As soon as he spoke, a dazzling ray of light appeared, cutting everything in half, and the project manager also met his end there. Yamjun quickly raised his knife to block the filthy slime from splashing on him, not forgetting a sigh. Whoa, come on. Blood is all over me. I still had a few questions, but you already finished him off. Where are you looking? The status board instantly displayed. Special mission, bug fix, completed. All special missions are done. Rewards will be delivered as promised. Do you wish to return to your original world? Gu-hyun looked at the light and thought, Finally, I'm getting out of here. Just press this, and then, at that very moment, a wave of black energy emanated from beneath him. Someone's voice kept echoing in his ears. Gu-hyun, where are you going? Have you forgotten about us? What about the others? Please kill them. Avenge us. Repay the blood debt. The most brutal revenge. Your hands are now stained with blood. Oh, I'm so tired. Isn't that enough? My absence probably won't make a difference now. Besides, this might be my first and only chance. Suddenly Yeonjun tapped his shoulder and called, Gu-hyun. He turned to look at him and said, I'm going back to my old world now. Yeonjun asked, confused, what's an old world? What were you rambling about now? You've been here from the start. Gu-hyun pressed the ice button and a blue light appeared. He then said, please tell the others for me, I'm sorry. The scene shifts to the modern world. Gu-hyun wakes up with a start in his bed. He sits up, breathing heavily, and wonders, is this my room? Did I really come back? How much time has passed? Gu-hyun nervously opens his phone and mutters, it's the day I got sucked into the game. So time didn't pass at all over there? Scars and bulging muscles are all gone, as if it was all just a dream. Gu-hyun's long hair and dark eyes from when he was in the game reappear. Not only that, he fought a bunch of big guys by himself. Gu-hyun, fearless, wielded his blade and fought fiercely. He remembered Sue almost collapsed, still pleading, save me, I don't want to die. And the project manager's curse. It's not just you, your family, relatives, and colleagues will suffer the same fate. Gu-hyun immediately clutched his head, returning to his bedroom, muttering, no, it can't be a dream. The feelings and memories are too real to call it a dream. 10 years in that other world was clearly real. Suddenly, his phone vibrated with an incoming call from John Nazian. He picked it up, puzzled. Found Nazian, that name sounds familiar. As soon as Gu-hyun answered, the other side yelled, deafening him. Mr. Gu-hyun, why haven't you contacted me at all? Don't tell me you forgot our appointment. Gu-hyun asked, bewildered, appointment? She quickly repeated, that's right, we have a meeting tonight. I'll send you the location, hurry up and get there. Then Nazian hung up, and he still didn't understand what was happening. Wait a minute. Gu-hyun stared at the screen and muttered to himself. This voice, I remember now. It's my close friend from our old school days. And she's also the one who got me into playing the game Reverse Planet. Don't tell me she knows something and has some kind of scheme. From what I remember, it's highly unlikely, but let's meet first and then figure it out. Head to a restaurant at the end of a small street. Gu-hyun tiredly pushed the door open, then heard a voice call out, here, over here. Nazian, wearing a pink hat, waved her hand and shouted, Gu-hyun, long time no see. This is our first get-together since the semester ended, right? Want some drinks? He walked over, slowly sat down, and declined. I'll pass today. Gu-hyun couldn't help but feel anxious. If I get drunk now, I don't know what I'll do. She wondered, that's weird, so we're just ordering food then. Not long after, as the fragrant meat sizzled on the grill, Nazian sighed, looking bored. Seriously, have you tried playing it yet? You said you only played up to the tutorial. Gu-hyun looked up and replied, I just created a character and watched the intro. He secretly thought, then I got completely hooked. She gasped in surprise and asked, what the intro? What is that? Gu-hyun, that's practically not playing at all. These words made him lose his composure. Not playing yet? Gu-hyun clenched his fists, silently blaming himself. Thinking back, who was it that made me struggle in hell for 10 years if it wasn't for you? Nazian gently swirled the glass of water in her hand, pouting. You know, I was really looking forward to it. You said you'd be a regular on my channel. You used to be a master of the arena, you know. If you just showed half your skills, my channel would explode instantly. Hill watched her complain and felt confused. A blurry stream? Oh, she did mention she was doing some kind of blurry game stream. No wonder. She kept begging me to do it with her. Gu-hyun raised his voice. I didn't promise that. Nazian immediately retorted. You did say you'd go live once, didn't you? He sighed, thinking, even so. Thanks to this, I feel a bit like I've returned to reality. Not long after, his veiny hand skillfully moved the computer mouse. Hill typed like a god to search for information. Planet Earth is the developer of the game Reverse Planet, headquartered in Silicon Valley, San Francisco, USA. After a while, he leaned back and exhaled. That's enough. Even going to the main headquarters won't solve anything. If I tell them their game made me fall into the underworld, they'll think I'm crazy. And if there's really a connection, it's even more dangerous. What if I get involved and they eliminate me to cover it up? What am I doing? It's good enough that I escaped that hell. Why am I still looking into these things? Enough, forget everything from over there. This is the real world. A few days later, someone was walking with their arm around Gu-hyun. That person walked beside him, constantly bouncing. Look at this guy. It's been so long. As desired, Gu-hyun tried to live a normal life by returning to school. He mumbled to himself while focusing on writing. Oh, this is definitely my specialty. Suddenly, a bony figure hugged Gu-hyun from behind and whispered, but have you really returned? Is this your reality? Gu-hyun's face turned pale. He immediately spun around to look, but behind him were only students silently studying books. Something began to go wrong as the entire room turned red, and that alluring voice kept echoing nonstop. Avenge them, seek revenge, a tragic revenge. This is not where you belong. Hyun couldn't take it anymore and screamed, then ran straight outside. The people around him were very confused. What's wrong with him? Meanwhile, Hyun was in the hallway, one hand against the wall, the other clutching his rapidly beating chest. A bloody hand touched his shoulder again. Hyun, are you okay? Hyun quickly grabbed that arm. He pulled his friend forward, startling him and making his eyes widen. Hyun instinctively grabbed hold of a black dagger and made a sharp slash right in front of his friend. However, his friend's voice brought Hyun back to reality. With his fist suspended in midair, what are you doing? He was startled and quickly pulled his arm back. I'm sorry. The other person looked at Hyun's trembling hand and whispered. The others were also saying that he's been acting a bit strange lately. Scene shifts to outside the park. Hyun slowly opens the water bottle cap. He bowed his head and then saw a strange figure calling his name. Hyun. He seemed to be surrounded by countless invisible people. Go back, Hyun. Have you forgotten us? Go back. But Hyun kept begging. Stop it, please leave me alone. Then Nazian smiled and called, Hyun. Seeing his dazed face, she asked worriedly, you look a bit tired, are you okay? Hyun, sweating profusely, denied it. No, nothing's wrong. Nasan hesitated and added, well, if you say so, but if anything happens, just talk to me, I'll help you. Hyun immediately looked up. Who are you calling a big sister? After saying that, Nazian turned and left. Alright, I'm going now. He nodded. Now Hyun realized that he was the one who brought these wandering spirits with him. Soon Hyun arrived at a simulated place, muttering to himself. Assuming all of this was a summoning. He slowly took one step at a time. Alright, if it's like this, living in this world is no different from the other. He'll lay down and told himself, I have to go back there. This time, he would put a definitive end to everything. Welcome to Reverse Planet. Yul looked around curiously. This place is a lab awaiting room. I've just entered the world of game sound. I'm from that other world, and I'll never go back to the lab anyway. But why can't I return to that world? Just when I finally made up my mind to go back to that hell, are there other conditions I need to meet? While he was pondering, the system reappeared, confirming the character's appearance. Without further thought, Hyun decided, for now, let's continue with the tutorial. I can return to that world once it's over. First, I need to look at the settings in that other world. I fought well enough without combat assistance. The system announced the stats and information. Combat assistance was set to 0%. Continue with initial ability setup. Please choose your core elemental ability. Abilities can be reset at any time. The ability map appeared, explaining that Reverse Planet's ability system is designed to enhance a character's power by first choosing a core element, then enhancing it with various sub-elements. This entire structure, from core to sub-elements, is called a playstyle. A number of elements is so vast that in professional tournaments, there are professional playstyle builders who dedicate themselves entirely to researching playstyles. Among them, the thing that helped Gu Hyun achieve the title of Transcendent was he chose some item from the system screen, this one. Immediately after, the announcement speaker blared, the experimental subject 48, you awakened in the previous experiment, so it's been a week. Hearing this, Gu Hyun immediately thought of the pain players had to endure. So the game doesn't show the process before awakening, but I doubt if anyone would actually want to experience that in a game. Enough with the long-winded announcements, the speaker told him, then let's start the next experiment immediately. Oh, inside. What awaited him inside? Left Gu Hyun stunned. It was an Edinal, a screeching machine created to prevent the destruction caused by the Awakened from the Transcendent Project, which was the reason. Countless experimental subjects lost their lives. The system began to assign tasks. Task 1, defeat the Edinal. On top of that, defeat the Edinal with your awakened abilities. Ga Huan looked at it with a hint of disdain. An old model. Despite saying that, an unpleasant memory suddenly surfaced. Mr. Gu Hyun, save me. All of them were destroyed by the massive machine. After sending him off, it turned its bloodshot eyes towards Gu Hyun. And now it lunged at him aimlessly. He cracked his knuckles and muttered, it's still here. Just like back then. These researchers always do the most disgusting things. And the Admiral threw a punch, but Gu Hyun easily dodged it. It didn't stop, continuing to glare with sharp eyes and attack. Its arms moved alternately, creating a series of continuous punches. Gu Hyun was too familiar with this, he approached it easily without taking any hits. Gu Hyun lightly touched it, silently assessing. The last model is tough because it can even use abilities. But you smashed it to pieces all over the place. This is just the first model. Metal fragments were scattered on the floor, and its body was almost completely destroyed. After the battle ended, the loudspeaker announced the completion of the experiment. Test Subject 48, you are extraordinary. At this level, your abilities are incomparable to those of regular test subjects. The main system simultaneously reported, Guidance Mission 1, Defeat Enel, mission accomplished. Just as he was about to move, the alarm sounded again. Good, let's start the next experiment. What is it? What's happening? The intruders are those government bastards, those pieces of trash. How did you guys get here? The screams grew louder and everything became more chaotic. This is a message to all victims unjustly imprisoned in this laboratory. Please use all your strength and get out immediately. Hu-han realized something familiar about that voice. The system seized the opportunity to assign the next task. Guidance Mission 2. Escape the laboratory in Gao. The explosion spread and the ceiling almost collapsed. First, I have to get out of here. Cracks were spreading, and signs of collapse were clearly visible. Hu-han kept running but couldn't escape. He wondered, how many explosions have there been? While he was confused, a nearby sound caught Hu-han's attention. The corridor was completely ruined. The symbol of the Interdimensional Management Bureau wasn't an enemy. Even as he was about to die, he struggled to ask, you're a victim. The fact that you made it here means you're trying to escape, right? It just so happens that I can help you with that. Feel free to choose anything you want. And this too, once you're out, send a signal with this, and the Bureau will come pick you up. After saying that, his life force ran out. Is he dead? Hu-han looked around, trying to understand what was happening. While Hu-han was deep in thought, the monster suddenly appeared. That's right, this is a game. It must just be a cutscene necessary for progression. After a while, he picked up an iron axe, but as soon as he held it, a demonic hand clung to Hu-han, making him uncomfortable. What is this filthy feeling? Minutes ago, the transformation flow had started elsewhere. I can't believe I'm playing Reverse Planet, the most popular game in the country. A hipster pride is weeping. This girl is Kang So-jun, a professional game streamer. Comments exploded. At least she knows she's a hipster. She chose this popular game herself. Why is she reacting like that when playing the best game in the country? I really don't care. Did someone force her to play Reverse Planet as the punishment? So-jun yelled in frustration. That's not the punishment I chose. You guys chose it, but a promise is a promise. And I, Kang So-jun, am a woman who has never broken a promise to her viewers. Comments were mixed, expressing disappointment. How many times have you lied about the next game being a popular one? Last time you said it was popular, but then you brought out a hipster game. Don't be so harsh. If it wasn't for her, who else would play these hipster games? Sazul enthusiastically played the game suggested by her fans. So now I'll begin my punishment for failing the one-try challenge in Reverse Planet. Comments started to shift to anticipation. Look at her changing the subject. This is going to be controversial. The bugs in Reverse Planet can finally rest in peace. Let's play. Before starting the game, she quickly selected a few main parts. No need to change the character's appearance, right? For my abilities, I'll choose something cool like fire, and finally, the combat assist percentage system immediately displayed. Character appearance saved. Ability settings saved. Combat assist rate 50%. Combat assist is a system that helps throughout the entire combat process, including posture adjustment, movement assistance, and skill usage adjustment. The higher the percentage, the more assistance you'll receive. Confirm these settings. Comments again offer conflicting opinions. It should be 0%, right? Complete the tutorial without assistance? Are you scared? Mom, when I grow up, I won't need assistance. Seeing such comments, Sajjun also had some doubts. Is it even possible to complete the tutorial without assistance? Based on her research, the percentage of players worldwide who don't use assistance is almost 0%. My skills have been honed by hipster games, so I'm quite confident in my mechanics. But they say playing without assistance is like trying to control a newly grown third arm. However, they said playing without assistance is like trying to control a newly grown third arm. Right? That's right, this is probably my idea. Sajjun thought, then said sweetly, everyone, as much as I want to, playing without assistance is really. A loyal fan gave her motivation. The task is to complete the tutorial without assistance. The reward is 500,000 won. As soon as she saw the money, her eyes lit up and she immediately agreed. Something Anubis to try at least once. The comments were helpless. With that much money, how can you refuse? She changed her mind as soon as the mission appeared, flipping sides like a pancake, the ghost of capitalism. Sajjun was so happy she couldn't control herself and jumped up. I'll play without assistance until I pass the tutorial. A few minutes later, her spirits dropped again. Are you sure about this, guys? From the very beginning. She was crushed by ETNO. In 2 minutes, Sajjun clenched her fists furious. I mean, it just threw you into a battle without explaining anything, and then ambush you too. The comments left, remembering how she got trashed earlier. It's true that part was unfair. Fighting ETNO without assistance and only using core elements is really hard. Anyway, that mission was designed for her to lose. Very soon after, Sajjun regained her spirits and continued, despite something appearing. Anyway, I found a radio and a weapon, so now I just need to escape, right? A system panel appeared right in front of her. The tutorial mission to escape the lab automatically started team matching. Matching. A 4-person team is suggested. Sajjun was so surprised she blurted out, "A team." Sajjun quickly regained her composure and asked the fans, "If I complete this stage with a team member, it still counts, right?" The comments section erupted in laughter, as if mocking her for not knowing how to play. "So you're getting carried for free. But free ride is always welcome." She wouldn't say that if she knew how the team matching mechanism in the tutorial worked. It's not always possible to team up. Sajjun started to notice something strange. "What do you mean you can't team up? Reverse Planet is a popular game, so there must be a lot of players." The system quickly slapped her in the face. Team matching failed. Initiating cross-team matching. Expanding search range, including matching with. Team's already in the matching process. The comments section took the opportunity to clarify. "See, I told you so. But why isn't it working?" Team matching only works with people who have the same combat assist ratio. What kind of crazy person completes the tutorial without using assists? Reading this, Sajjun was stunned. Wait a minute. Does that mean any member I'm paired with also didn't use assists? Everyone got bolder and burst out laughing. Exactly. A no assist team. So you won't be carried. You'll have to be the one carrying. I give you a gift if you complete it with a no assist team. A feeling of helplessness grew in Sajjun. Maybe I should just cancel this mission. Just as she was about to give up, the system interrupted. Pairing successful. She quickly tried to cancel, but it was too late. No, joining the available tutorial mission. Escape the lab. She helplessly accepted her fate. This is really bad. And so Sajjun was thrown into the mission, shedding tears, but the scene before her made her jaw drop. Sajjun looked around, struggling to speak. Everyone, this is no joke. The comments section almost exploded. What is this? Wait a minute. Seriously, is this really the non-support team? Crazy. Is this a pro player on an alt account? No pro player could do this in the tutorial without support. The Adenals were shattered, turning into scrap metal. And what's more, he took down so many Adenals without support or a priority weapon. A perfect carry player. Alright, I'm going to find that person now. In another corner, machine hole from the Adenals dripped down the knife. Gu-hin was the one who had destroyed most of the large robots. As if sensing something, he looked around warily. Sajjun approached, peeking her head out and softly calling. "Excuse me." Before she could say anything, the knife blade was already close to her face. The person who's just here. Gu-hin quickly realized that Sajjun was not an enemy. She was so scared by this that she stammered, unable to say a word. After realizing, she quickly ran behind the wall and yelled, "Help me!" Gu-hin retracted his knife, not an enemy. "Sorry, I made a mistake." Based on the situation, Sajjun quickly realized, wait, the blood-stained lab coat. It's him. Gu-hin left without another word. "I'm leaving." She held him back. "Hey, I think we're teamed up, so it'll be fine if I go with you, right?" "My name is Kang Sajjun. I'm a streamer. I'm currently live, so is it okay if you're on stream? Private mode is on, so your face will be hidden." Why did he suddenly stop? Is he mad? From a distance, a group of people rushed over. It was an escaped specimen. Kill him. No need to capture him alive. A hail of bullets erupted. Sajjun huddled in a corner, holding his head and groaning. Why is the difficulty of this tutorial so high? She glanced back and asked Han Gu-hin, the bus driver, "Are you okay?" The bullets flew by, but none touched him. Gu-hin found an opening and threw his axe, which flew swiftly. The guards were hit and couldn't get up. Seeing this, Sajjun became even more worried. Everyone in the comments was also stunned. What the heck was that? Jenny used a chainsaw. Sajjun hid behind a pile of debris and asked the fans, "I don't know much about River's planet." So this is amazing, right? The comments were speechless. How can you use a weapon like that without any assistance? Yeah, that's right. It's actually insane. What the heck am I watching right now? Sajjun asked the experienced gamers among his fans. Does anyone know what kind of ability Ister is using? His eyes suddenly turned white. The fans were also amazed by Gu-hil's use of the chainsaw. Is it wind? If it were wind, it would be clearer. Psychic power is the same. I don't know what it is. but I'd get stomped if I met someone like that in EE. Among them, one fan realized that the only core element that can boost physical stats while changing eye color is absolute entity. She nervously repeated, absolute entity. She was very curious. Isn't that a useless ability that prevents you from using other abilities? I thought everyone said not to choose it. The comments were stumped. That's why we also don't understand the related image of absolute entity that appeared. It's one of the key pillars of countless features in Reverse Planet. It greatly enhances physical stats and skill resistance, but it prevents you from using skills yourself. Because of these penalties, players consider this a completely useless skill. The Reverse Time community suggests things to avoid. 1 to 25, absolute entity. I don't even understand why this useless thing exists. The description says it all. It prevents you from using skills. Leave the team if someone has this skill. Sajjun stared blankly at the scene before him. Strange, not being able to use abilities in a game where abilities are crucial. The comments discussed Sajjun, what? Sounds ridiculous. Can you fight without skills? I haven't seen anyone choose absolute entity in their second playthrough. I chose it out of curiosity. And immediately deleted my character. Your eyes will turn completely white if you use it. It truly turns you into an absolute entity. Physical buffs can be useful in a battle without stat adjustments. Based on the theory Miss Tam came up with, using skills would definitely be very difficult in a battle without stat adjustments. So maybe it's worth giving up everything and putting all points into physical stats, but he's probably still only level 1. How can he move like that on the battlefield? Gu-hil called the dazzling chains around them, making her even more curious. Who is this guy? When the chains were pulled hard, plasma splattered from their bodies. In the blink of an eye, Gu-hil had cleared them all out, his dark eyes reflected through the red side. Dark entities called around him. It's still not enough. Gu-hil. He more violent on your path of revenge. I'm still not satisfied. He made them fear him, waving his hands and feet. Immediately after, Sajjun slid down and shot from below, catching him off guard. Damn it. With just one shot, she successfully hit his brain. After that, Sajjun even showed off, making the comments section go wild. That's cool, at least she's pretty good at shooting. You have to be good at shooting to play like her. You guys act like she did everything. She just finished them off, stole the kill. But she temporarily ignored them and looked at Gu-hil. So Sajjun raised her gun and smiled broadly. I'm useful, right? Suddenly, a small joy crept into Gu-hil's mind. The peaceful scene before the funeral made him feel warm. Seeing him too quiet, Sajjun called out tentatively. Hey, carry guy. You're not mad, are you? Of course, I know it's all thanks to you. I just want to help a little. Gu-hil replied gently. No, his eyes narrowed. She had pulled back. Comments erupted again. He's so kind too. He's protecting a life taker. It's incredible. We can't see his face because of privacy settings. But I bet he's handsome too. His voice is pleasant to listen to, right? I know it's modulated. But Sajjun jumped for joy, really? So I can continue to accompany you in this tutorial, right? I'll help as much as I can. Gu-hil also didn't want to refuse. Alright, after a while, Sajjun spoke up. Hey, carry guy. He introduced himself. Oh, me be Gu-hil. She was a little flustered. Yes, Gu-hil. Is that his real name? That might not be censored. Knowing the name, Sajjun got to the main point. If this isn't too much to ask, did you choose absolute entity as your first core ability? He affirmed without hesitation. That's right. Comments buzzed again. He actually did that. We need to reevaluate the capabilities of the absolute entity. Reevaluate what the hell? It's still useless. He's right. Do you think ordinary people could do what he did? She wanted to know more about it. How did you dodge bullets without using his skill? Are you playing any other games? Gu-hil shook his head in response. No other games. Suddenly he stopped, startling Sajjun. What is it? What's wrong? Based on Gu-hil's senses, he warned, there are two Eternals about 20 meters ahead. She repeated, confused, 20 meters? Sajjun secretly admired him. He didn't even have a scouting skill, but he could still determine how far away the enemies were and how many there were. Gu-hil walked indifferently without hesitation. It's nothing big, let's keep going. After walking another 20 meters, they indeed encountered them. No way, but he was actually right. Gu-hil calmly told a story as the two Eternals charged at them. Back then I really enjoyed playing Colosseum, she said, her face pale with worry, stopping him. Wait, watch out. Gu-hil quickly dodged their first attack. He kicked it squarely in the face. After taking care of the first one, he continued. Back when I was really addicted to games, he called himself, throwing a punch, and introduced himself at the same time. I was a ranker there. No Eternal could withstand Gu-hil's iron fist. The audience watched with delight. That's insane. An Eternal. Just like that, remember this, everyone. There's no editing here, it turns out. A rancor in the Colosseum looks like this. A rancor in the Colosseum makes sense, only Sajjun still doesn't get it. Is being a rancor in the Colosseum that important? The comments started explaining objectively. She doesn't even know what that means, that damn hipster, honestly. I don't know either, is it that important? I don't know what people think these days. But back then, rankers in the Colosseum used to receive professional invitations. Yes, Butler, the pro gamer, was also a ranker. She quickly recognized the celebrity batterer. Wasn't Butler the best player in Rivers Planet South's professional league? In the comments, two fans were quite curious. Do you think he faced Butler when he was a ranker? I wonder what would happen if our carry and Butler fought. While Sajjun was figuring things out, Ga-eun had finished cleaning up. Let's go, she said helplessly, stammering. Yes, it's already the final tutorial mission. Jinju was waiting for them there. The one who managed to get this far. I bet he didn't know this place would become his grave. He's the chief of security for the tutorial boss lad. Jinju, thinking he was strong, sneered, "Don't worry, you'll soon reunite with your comrades." It was then that Gu Hyun realized, chief of security, so everything up until now was just a tutorial. Suddenly, he saw something terrifying in his eyes, the vengeful ghosts that always haunted Gu Hyun. They called to him with chilling voices, "We found you. Hurry, kill him. Kill him. Without wasting time, Jinju lunged forward, you won't. Get out of here alive." Seeing this, Sajjun quickly ducked down and aimed. Unfortunately for her, the bullets had no effect against the shield. I thought the particle barrier was only for awakened ones. The comments left. The chief of security is clearly an awakened one. He's still a boss. He should have at least this much. It's annoying to see her trying to solve everything by shooting. The ghostly sound pulled at him. Gu Hyun felt at a disadvantage, so Sajjun quickly moved away. "I'll shoot from here, okay." The fans were helpless with her. Look, she's calling for a carry right away. She's quick to react, isn't she? She's ready to be carried. He dodged the attack effortlessly again. That's right, this is just a game, but if it can satisfy everyone, even just a little. Just a loving sweet cake, Gu Hyun shattered the shield. Jinju was also pushed 800 yards away by the impact, creating a huge explosion. Sajjun was stunned by this sight, only the fans were thrilled. He didn't even shoot anything. How did the particle barrier shatter? Is it a B, U, G? Jinju emerged from the rubble in his iron body, and the comments section went wild, calling him a coward. Iron Man is here. What's his skill? Is that his ability? That's right. Iron Man is his skill. Jinju charged fiercely. "I'm going to tear you apart." The fans were stunned by the situation. The ground sunk in. He must weigh at least a ton with that skill. You'd die if he hit you with that, right? His first punch made the ground sink deep, but it didn't hit him. Not stopping there, Jinju continued to charge, thinking how long he could dodge. His hands were replaced with sharp drills. The continuous punches destroyed everything, but Gu Hyun dodged them all. Gu Hyun clenched his fists, preparing to counterattack, and the fans went wild. Just one hit would be fatal. But he's dodging everything. Even with my skills, I can't dodge his attacks. Give him some support. Are you kidding? You just threw the first punch, and Jinju couldn't take it. He was pushed back, slumped on the ground, clutching his face in pain. The ghostly hands came again. Don't disable his Iron Man skill. Gu Hyun coldly declared, "You can't die that easily. Those people sewed into your mind, tear him apart, like what? Happened to us, even more brutally." Jinju-jun was probably confused about what happened after a sample was his straw. He cracked his knuckles and looked at him with a beastly gaze, thanks to that person. Sajjun, standing outside, witnessed everything and was speechless. Immediately after, the system popped up. "You have defeated the lab's chief of security." She was confused. What were we watching? The helpless comments followed. "Seriously, he's our team's carry." You guys have to remember that he didn't use any modifications. It seems like he's fought people before. Could it be? Let's not talk about it anymore. She licked her lips playfully. "Anyway, we've defeated the tutorial boss. Now we just need to get out of here, right?" The comments were helpless. "Probably. You just got carried. How can there be such a strong person here?" Sajjun called out to him to stop this. "Let's go, Gu Hyun." He calmly walked away, leaving Jinju's body possessed. "Yeah, let's go." After getting out, Sajjun stretched happily, finally free. System kept announcing, "Tutorial. Escape the lag completed. Level up. You have received 1 skill point." Sajjun turned to him, curiously asking about the next objective. He shook his head, wanting to rest. "No, I think I'll stop here for today." She took the opportunity to ask him something. "So, can you wait a bit? I have something for you." Gahan agreed. "Okay." Sajjun was happy and admired him. Thanks to you, the unedited tutorial was completed. The comment section was chaotic again. How shameless. She must be in Fox's top 100 for the most carried streamers. But it was fun to watch anyway. I just joined the stream. Is it over? Finally, she said goodbye to them. Today's stream was fun. See you tomorrow. After turning off the screen, Sajjun said, Thanks for waiting. Ga-hyun wanted to get straight to the point. It's fine. What do you want? Sajjun shyly and hesitantly invited him. Can you join my stream often? Ga-hyun was a bit surprised and asked, Your stream? Sajjun quickly offered more reasons to persuade him. I mainly play the main quests of River's Planet and occasionally PE. Seeing that it was a bit unstable, she immediately used her charm. I'll make sure the stream fits your schedule. Also, I'll pay a generous appearance fee. Hugan bowed his head, not accepting. I'm sorry. Sajjun had no choice. All right, his expression said it all. Since she couldn't convince him, Sajjun tried another approach. Can I be friends with you? He agreed. Okay. Afterwards, she bowed to him and left. Playing games with you was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. System appeared as usual, and Sajjun looked out. Ga-hyun stood stunned. The tutorial was over. But why wasn't he returning to the other world? Meanwhile, the keyboard warrior was hard at work. I'll tell you why he's a hacker. The future is determined by today's gameplay. And anonymous viewer 62 donated $3,000. What's it like to return to the real world? This morning, the Korean branch of the virtual reality game production company Reverse Planet was facing an unprecedented event. In its operating history, all because of one individual's actions, the screen showed a fight. Oh my, even watching it again, it's hard to believe. Without any support tools or weapons, easily defeated the captain of the guard team. Liam Hai said the online community unanimously claimed this was cheating. Players were constantly sending internal messages, pressuring the company to issue an official explanation. Are you sure this isn't a hack? Jin Hawk nodded, absolutely sure. I've checked all the data from the moment this character was created. There's absolutely no trace of interference or modification from external programs. Moreover, we've dealt with countless types of hackers before. Hackers who can walk through walls, hackers who can turn invisible. But this is the first time I've witnessed such a movement. This is a character control style that even the most sophisticated hack couldn't simulate. Enrollment shook his head. If it's not cheating, then this player is absolutely insane. Bixung spoke up. However, there's still a very small chance that this is a completely new type of hacker that we haven't detected yet. Hyun nodded. That's right. Anyway, we need to conduct a thorough investigation, Guhan said, sitting opposite Nazian. So, because of me, the internet community is going wild and chaotic. Nazian asked excitedly. Yeah, everything is super chaotic right now. This incident even created a no assist challenge trend in the female gaming community. The reverse game community's featured post. No assist and no gun challenge. Insane difficulty. If there's no assist, then the abilities won't activate at all. Because everyone failed. They completely blamed it on it being cheating. Do you know how surprised I was when I first watched that video? Hyun continued, but how did you recognize me? I was wearing a mask during the live stream, and there's Olo, a personal information protection mechanism. Nazian continued, you revealed your own name, didn't you? Besides, I've watched you fight before. Even though I know you're good, reaching this level makes outsiders think you're using hacks. He mused, so this is why I was contacted. She was surprised. Contacted? What do you mean by contacted? He hesitated. Wow, that is. Nazian was astonished. Planet Earth Korea contacted you directly, and they want to verify if you're using hacking software. Sajjun texted Gyan. From Kang Seo Yoon. Hello, Gyan. So you continued. I got the notification through the open stream. Nazian was excited that a game company directly intervened to check if you were hacking. You must have attracted a lot of attention, right? So what are you going to do next? Diyuan slowly replied. Well, even though it's just the Korean branch, this is a rare opportunity to get in touch with the game producer. If someone at a higher management level appears, I might find clues about the other world I'm looking for. I'll think about it, but I'll probably try to accept this offer. Nazian was excited. Really? That's a very good decision. If you want to keep playing Reverse Planet, you should clear things up. It's annoying to be called a hacker by everyone. You replied, I don't really care about that. Besides, no one recognizes me. I haven't even shown my face on stream. Nazian objected. No, even if you change your name, your fighting style is too unique. It's impossible not to recognize it. In the professional scene, no one fights barehanded like you. Even recently, even pro gamers who want to hide their identities have been discovered just because of their characteristic fighting habits. A video was posted. Our channel found Rikizuki's alt account. He tapped the floor twice with his foot before using his movement skills, so it's definitely him. Guhil replied calmly, "Oh, how thoughtful." Nazine continued, "It's a good thing you agreed, otherwise that streamer would have been heavily criticized by the community." You wondered why. What does that person have to do with me? That's not important to those who are fiercely debating the hacking issue. She replied, "Initially, they'll only target you, but very quickly they'll shift their criticism to the person who invited you to stream." He nodded. "Well, really?" Suddenly Sajjun's face appeared on Guhin's water glass. So, a reply message popped up, a message from Baekuhan. "I'll join." Sajjun was flustered. Okay, her face was filled with excitement. Great. The screen lit up, showing Sajjun checking the channel's viewership. She focused. With this incredibly hot appeal, the number of viewers will definitely increase tremendously, right? Everyone, get ready for a big surprise, because this is the first time in the history of River's Planet. The screen lit up with an announcement, a live broadcast to explain the hacking allegations. Hello everyone, the most talked about person recently regarding hacking allegations, Mr. Baekuhan. The explanation will officially take place in 4 days. Guhil was in a pristine white suit when he heard a voice call, "Guhil." Sajjun ran over. "You must have been under a lot of pressure and stress lately, right? I'm sorry for making things turn out this way." He shook his head. "It's fine, I don't really mind." "But didn't Miss Soyun suspect me at all?" She replied awkwardly, "Bo, yes, that day I witnessed it firsthand, so all the evidence people presented was baseless. Moreover, your eyes at that time looked like crazy killers, so I didn't dare to think about that." She gave an embarrassed laugh. "It was just an intuition." Guhin looked blank. "Intuition?" Sajjun opened her palm. "If you're ready, shall we begin?" Guhin replied, "Yes." Sajjun smiled brightly. "Hello, everyone. You've been waiting a long time, haven't you?" Comments kept appearing. "It's finally starting." Explain, 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 explain. Explain, we've been waiting forever. Is this channel selling hack software? Hack it out. Hack it out. I need to order some fried chicken to watch this, if it's really a hack. What's there to explain? I'll remain neutral and wait for the final results, Sajjun said excitedly. It just started and there are already 10,000 viewers. It's really popular. Indeed, many people are interested in this debate, so I've invited Dixon, Mr. Guhu, back here. He lowered his voice. "Hello, I'm Beck Guhu." Comments appeared. "This crazy hacker, look how thick-skinned he is. What's fun about hacking to play games? What's the reaction in the chat box? What if it's not a hack? Those who still believe it's a hack need to be careful not to get brainwashed. You should remain neutral until there are official results. So is it a hacker or not?" Sajjun was angry. "Everyone, please be polite in your comments. If you go too far, I'll disable the chat feature." Before we proceed with the verification, what do you think about this controversy, Mr. Guhyun? He hesitated. Well, I just find it meaningless for such a trivial matter to become such a big topic of debate. Comments appeared. Trivial? Trivial? This shook the entire Reverse Time community, and he dares to call it trivial? He's really a top player in the arena, hacking and bragging. Sajjun looked at the screen. Admittedly, calling it trivial might be a bit of an overstatement. A comment popped up. Wow, so how are we going to explain this in the end? She replied, "That's a good question. Today, we've invited a special guest to conduct the verification directly." Someone unexpectedly appeared before their eyes. He's here. Ji-Hyun spoke up. "Hello, I'm Park Ji-Hyun, the head of operations, Team 1 for Planet Earth, Korea." Comments appeared. "Who is that?" Wow, they even invited an operator. Maybe it's really not H-I-C Tia. Seriously, what is this? It's a real person, not an impersonator. The GM title is displayed above his head. Look at the gem. Only operators allowed at the main headquarters have that. This is crazy. It can't be H then. What about those who said it was H? Hyun thought to himself. The operations team leader most likely knows everything. After the verification, I must ask him politely. Sojun bowed. "Thank you for coming. I am Shima Kang-son." He also bowed and said, "I'm Beek Guhyun Ji-Hyun. It's a pleasure to meet you." Is this Beek Guhyun? He doesn't look special on the outside. All right, I'll guide you to the verification location. Suddenly, the three of them moved to a different location. So Jun wondered, what is this? Ji-Hyun explained. This is a personal training room where you can practice using your abilities are. Train combat skills as previously announced. We will observe multiple combat rounds, then verify if there's any interference from external programs. Hyun thought this space never appeared in the other world I knew. Hyun asked again, do you agree with this procedure? Hyun nodded. Yes, I completely agree. As soon as he finished speaking, Hyun looked to the side. A foot in pristine white armor slowly stepped out. It was Edinal, walking. Out with a terrifying appearance. Comments appeared. Was this the intermediate version of the ethanol robot? Without support and only choosing the first core element, will he be strong enough to defeat the intermediate training robot? I don't know much about Reverse Planet. How strong is that robot? It's much stronger than the first version that appeared in the tutorial. Hyun's people looked grim. We'll start with the intermediate training robot. Suddenly, dark energy appeared around his body. Hyun, I'm starting to get scared. Avenge us, Hyun. Hyun continued. In short, it's like this. From now on, destroy it. The ground seemed to shake suddenly. Hyun, who was standing next to him, quickly disappeared. Hyun grimaced, trying to dodge with his hands, fighting to the death. Rocks and dirt flew everywhere around Hyun, who was trying to destroy his opponent. He was trying to block with his tablet. Go. The commentator appeared. Now he's using his bare hands to smash the TRNG. What level? That robot wasn't even scratched when it was hit with a hammer, but this. Am I the only one who's scared? Hyun was pulling wires inside the 80L's head. Crazy. The screen showed no external program interference detected. Program interference detected. Hyun's face darkened. This absolutely couldn't be a cheating hack. Hyun slowly stepped down from N. Oh, it's back. He calmly told Hyun, it's done. He stammered, well, we didn't detect any cheating programs in this battle, but the window was a bit too short. Too short. Can you fight in the way we specify? Hyun nodded. Okay, this must be to verify if I use cheating software. Cheating software. Cheating software controls characters through programs so they can't fight exactly as the player wants by predetermining how to win and then fighting the exact same way. You can prove it's not a hack. Hyun continued. Thank you. So this time, please decapitate 3 training robots. Thank you. So this time, please decapitate 3 training robots. Mid-range with a scythe chain. He nodded, understood. Simhan's face was grim. What the heck? This must be a huge inconvenience. 3 admirals appeared at the same time, charging at Guhan, and I didn't think I'd back down. In the blink of an eye, the battle happened incredibly fast. Guhan was in a landing stance with the chain in hand. He began to launch himself from his current position, and the long chain, skillfully controlled by Guhan, slashed at the Etnal. His eyes suddenly turned dark, exuding a terrifying coldness. In just a moment, Guhan easily took down 3 Etnals. Sajjun was excited. I knew it. I've never seen anything like that before. Everyone, look at how the side chain moves. It's like a living creature. Comments appeared. What did I just watch? The chain is completely damaged. Maybe it's not the weapon that's damaged, but the person. Exactly. Side chains are usually used to attack nearby opponents. Hyun's expression was a bit awkward. We've collected enough data to verify, but is the administrator of this game? With pure curiosity rising within him, can he defeat the advanced training robot with just 1 core factor? Maybe it's because but for the final test, the door suddenly opened slowly for an advanced Admiral to step out. Its eyes glowed a terrifying red. Before them, the Admiral calmly walked out with a powerful aura. Comments appeared. He actually brought that out. That's too much cold-blooded admin. If he wins, he might be known as a superhuman recognized by the National Certification Council. Ethel stared intently. We will proceed with verification using the advanced training robot, the latest version, Ethel. Guhan's dark eyes suddenly faltered a bit. He could clearly see the animal before him, which had killed countless people. Suddenly, its face darkened, and it flashed a sinister smile. Guhan angrily gritted his teeth with extremely sharp eyes. The Admiral unexpectedly lunged forward, attacking at high speed. Its arm pierced through, making Guhan's cheek bleed. Admiral clenched its fist, then lunged forward, repeatedly punching Guhan. All its punches were hitting the door. My feet were firmly planted. As expected, this one is on a completely different level from those average ones. If I get hit just once, I'll be knocked out. Plus, as his thoughts ended, Guhan countered with a punch to Admiral's stomach. His hand was shaking. Its hard shell really is on another level. My attacks are just like tickles to it. Admiral was barely affected and coldly retaliated. Hi, duck. If that's the case, I'll keep attacking until its parts are damaged. Jaehyun and Sojun stood by, staring in disbelief. A comment appeared. I have to say, this is insane. How is that possible? Now it's my turn to be scared. One hit would be enough to take him down, but he hasn't been hit at all. Hyun thought to himself, I didn't expect him to actually attack an advanced robot directly with just one core element. Even at first, he seemed to be at a disadvantage. But after a while, he seemed to gain the upper hand. Hyun's fingers moved across the screen. There's no point in watching anymore. Suddenly, Enel, which was in front of Hyun, disappeared. He said loudly, We've collected enough data for this verification, so I've removed the training robot. Hyun nodded. I see. No wonder. Sajjun smiled and asked, So, what's the actual result? Jae-hyun explained, We confirmed that there was no external interference program. In other words, he didn't use hacks. A comment appeared, and that's not a hack. Why? Even the admin confirmed it. You guys accused him from the start. Breaking news, the post accusing him of hacking has been deleted. Sajjun was excited. See? I told you he wasn't hacking, but you still doubted him. A comment appeared. Now no one doubts him. How are you going to refute the admin's statement with your imaginary theories? Even the troublemakers are retreating. Why does he look even more excited than before? I've seen people who were considered act-like before, but he's truly a monster with a hack-like physique. Sajjun smiled. Hack-like physique, I like that term. Everyone, remember this post. Hyun doesn't use hacks. He's just so talented that people think he's hacking. Since the verification is complete, could you two share your thoughts? Hyun was flustered. Thank you, sir. You worked hard. Enrollment gave an awkward smile. It was my pleasure. The viewership was immense. That was today's stream. See you all next time. A comment appeared. He's thinking about getting content from this incident, seriously. I just got here. I thought the stream was just to clear his name, but today's stream was truly legendary. Bye, Sajjun said. Thank you for agreeing to appear on today's broadcast. Jae-hyun bowed. No, I should thank you for accepting my verification request, especially you. Hyun. He shook his head. It's nothing. Jae-hyun's expression was grim. He said it was nothing. Well, I'm leaving then. Suddenly, Hyun interrupted. Wait, he looked straight at him. There's something I want to ask. Jae-hyun was surprised. What do you want to ask? His face still showed curiosity. But are there any bugs in the game? For example, are there situations where players can't escape because of a bug? Jae-hyun explained, I've never heard of anything like that. If a bug like that appeared, Ripple wouldn't be a global game anymore. Hyun pondered. I guess I understand. Hyun quickly disappeared. Well, I'm really leaving then. The surroundings became quiet again. Finally done. Hyun, you did a great job today. All right. I'll calculate the stream revenue later. I'll contact you again next time, okay? He replied, well, I don't need the appearance fee, but okay, let me know when you need me. Sajjun looked blank. It's such a waste to let him go like that. A walking content generating gold farmer is right in front of me. Hyun asked softly, what do you want to say? Sajjun thought to herself, no, I can't ask him to stream again myself. I only got him to appear today to clarify his name. I guess I have to give up. So I'll contact you next time. Okay, I got less than I expected. What a disappointment. A message popped up from Joan Lian. The morning's over, right? Head to the battle prep room now. Nazian was excited. So, how was the broadcast? It went great, right? The online community exploded. It was insane. Hill replied, I don't think I'm cut out for that. Monitoring chat and talking while playing isn't my style. She hesitated. Oh, really? Well, imagine this. If you didn't have to pay attention to chat and just played, that would be fine, right? I'll set everything up for you. Just try it once and then decide. He thought to himself, no, I just don't want to be on camera. Nazian pressed the button. Anyway, E appeared above my head. Let's go do some E. E player versus player, battles between players, forms one of the two main content pillars. A reverse planet, alongside PvE, player versus environment. Hyun wondered, that's why you called me to the prep room. Sajjun nodded. Of course. You were going to leave without trying Ripple's PvP, aren't you? I'd be hurt. He hesitated. No, I thought it wasn't for me, so I didn't intend to. Going back to the other world doesn't seem very appropriate. She stared. He's at the heart of Ripple. Don't judge it just from the tutorial. Hill thought, that's right, the national PvP mode is almost identical to the other world. I've never tried PvP before. There must be something different there. He continued calmly, alright, I give it a try. Sajjun smiled. Great. Let me explain PvP. First, there's dueling, which is basically one person matching up with another. There are two modes, Solo 1 and duo 12. You win by taking 2 out of 3 rounds. Next is objective-based combat. There are 4 modes: domination, escort, capture the flag, and annihilation. You'll choose one of these 4 modes and fight 5 of against. A fixed team composition. And what we're doing today is survival. 100 players are scattered across different areas. Collect equipment by grinding and get ready to fight. The last person or team standing wins the deathmatch. Since this is your first time, let's just play in team mode. And for PvP, you'll need an optimized gear set. I recommend one. Iohan shook his head. No need. I already know which gear set is good. The one that made me a superhero in the other world. I'll record while you get ready to log in. Nazian focused. Good, I get ready right away. The starting point must be the military base. That's the rule. The military base, one of the battlefields in PvP survival mode, is a place with a lot of high-level equipment, often occupied by a large number of high-level players, making it unsuitable for new players. Oh, do you mind if I record your PvP session? I want to upload it to YouTube. Please say yes. Woohoo looked blankly. Get away. Alright, calm down. Why is she so excited? Nazian's finger pressed the start button. Okay, I'm logging in now. The system announced. Select starting point. Area 1 military base. Time. Before start, 60 seconds. Nazian put his hand on his forehead. Let's meet again alive, comrade. Guhin was standing behind a man at this moment. He thought someone's on the 3rd floor. There's nothing here. His hand silently reached behind him. I need to move somewhere else. Nazian's phone started ringing on the side. The message popped up. Beck Guhin eliminated Lucky Day. She was surprised. It just started and there's already a kill. This physical hack is truly something. Messages kept popping up. Beck Gil eliminated High Rice Bo, eliminated Lee Sol Jun, eliminated Chicken is Love, eliminated Kim Yoon, eliminated. Why Ditson eliminated B Jong Yu. Seo Jun was astonished. She gasped in fear. What the hell is Yuan doing? The man is being electrocuted and is in immense pain. A notification appeared. Beak Guhyun eliminated Slim Monster. He thought, it seems I can't sense other players anymore. Is this guy the only survivor around here? I didn't think I'd run into 4 people at once like this. Since I'm done farming, I guess I should leave. Nazian's voice message popped up. Beck Guhyun, help me. There are too many people here. I'm surrounded. He was surprised. Nazian. Yuhyun's finger moved across the screen. The opposite area. That's quite far. His location appeared. I'm coming. Where in the building are you? Nazian replied, 3rd floor rooftop. But there's a fierce fight on the lower floors. It seems like someone starts a fight every week. Be careful. Guhan started running. Okay. He was charging forward with 2 men in front of him. Hey, the guy with glasses panic. What's the news? How's he so fast? The person next to him was scared. Hey, get ready. I'll hold them off for you. Hu's hand swiftly pulled out the knife from his side, and he rushed forward, easily taking down one guy with incredible speed. The guy with glasses panicked when his teammate was eliminated. Wait, what the heck? The system announced that Beat Guhyun eliminated the tiger. The man with glasses was furious, his head filled with thoughts of physical attacks and increased attack speed. He summoned power from underground and shouted loudly. Die! Huon quickly flew into the air with the dark figure. He angrily looked up in surprise. You idiot. Huon landed without hesitation, his blade already bloody. The system announced that Beat Guhyun found the baby Tyrannosaurus. A blue light appeared on the back of the man lying on the ground. System announced that Beat Guhyun eliminated Chest High. Beat Guhyun eliminated Bomb Chicken. Guhyun stood in front of the door. I'm already in front of the building. Nason replied, Really? I'll come help you out. He gripped the doorknob. No need, just wait there. Guhyun hesitated for a moment, looking at the doorknob. Arc energy surrounded him. 4 enough, maybe 5. Guhyun opened the door, and a man was hiding behind it. He smirked secretly, holding a knife behind his back. Guhyun quickly grabbed his wrist. A man's eyes widened as he looked at his wrist. Guhyun punched him in the stomach. The announcement appeared. Beat Guhyun eliminated Slim Monster. He thought to himself, that's good. Maybe I should be a little faster. In a flash, Guhyun moved quickly up the stairs. The announcement appeared. Beat Guhyun searched for Haza. Beat Guhyun eliminated. Be Good Parents eliminated. Frim Snacks eliminated Dentok. Nazian looked at the system board. What again? Beat Guhyun completely overwhelmed the others. Suddenly, her sharp eyes paused, looking behind her. Nazian swung her sword powerfully. When did he? Guhyun dodged, surprised. Oh my, you scared me. I had no idea you were standing right next to me. At this rate, you'll kill 14 people by yourself. Gahan frowned. Do I even need to be here? Nazian smiled. That you take care of all the enemies in this building? Are you wondering what that weapon is? Nazian stammered, grabbing randomly around it. Alright, I'm not giving up. I'll handle the rest of the game for Gahan, he sighed. Yeah, alright. System announced. Game over. Do a survival mode. Rank 1 out of 50. Deek Gahan 25, Xavina no deaths and Dan. 7 15 and no deaths. The announcements kept popping up and Nazian was amazed. I can't believe it. We won 10 rounds in one room. That's enough gaming for today. I can't play anymore. Gahan nodded. Yeah, Nazian was determined. Clearly, he was just a normal college student, but his friend was a living weapon. I have to get him on camera no matter what. Can you wait 2 days before starting your main mission? I'll bring a detailed broadcast plan. Gahan replied, I told you I'm not interested, and it's not like I'm going to do that main mission or anything. She continued, just listen to me. I'll prepare very thoroughly. See you later. After Nazian left, Gahan bowed his head in thought. He thought, Soviet PvP didn't give me the proof I needed. At this moment, in a large apartment amidst the quiet night sky, Sajjun was happily scrolling on his phone in bed. Reverse Dom community, general chat. Reasons why I think Hector Lot should go pro. 27. Chat, what I seriously realized watching today's verification stream is that anyone complaining about high-level combat robots. I'm here, 42. Tried to break through the defense line 2452. Chat, but Son is pretty cute, isn't she? Son's excitement spread back and forth. Amazing, absolutely amazing. 100,000 viewers. Will I ever see that number again in my streaming career? If only I could have continued streaming with Guhyuan. I should have tried to hold on a little longer. Guhyuan politely declined. Sorry, but I'm not interested in being on camera. So Yoon thought, did I not say it firmly enough? No, it's because you were too insistent from the start. At least let me handle your appearance fee first, okay? I wonder how much it will be. Her eyes widened in surprise. What is this? The next day at the cafe, Guhyuan spoke up. Why did you suddenly call me out? You looked surprised at what was on the computer screen. What is this? Naeun laughed loudly. What do you think? I stayed up all night working on this presentation to convince you today. Gahel looked confused. This is the quality of what you lost sleep over? Naeun continued. You said it's fine as long as the chat doesn't bother you while you're playing, right? If you don't have to pay attention to the chat and just play, would that be okay with you? Gahel replied, I didn't say it was okay. She continued. Either way, what do you think of this observational reality idea? He wondered. Observational reality. An observational reality show is a type of reality program where various guests in the studio watch recordings of other people. You play the game, and I'll be the one interacting. Acting. If the two of us aren't enough, we can invite a professional commentator. I'll split the profits 60-40. Sounds like a great deal, right? Wu Haiyan looked blankly. I already said I'm not interested. Naeun continued. Wait, I guess you don't know how much revenue streams generate. Naeun continued. Wait, I guess you don't know how much revenue streams generate. Now, actually, didn't you go to settle things with Sajjun today? Guhyun held his phone. Oh, right, I just got an email this morning. I rushed out to meet you, so I didn't check it. His finger tapped the screen. Guhyun, the agreement says, Hello, Guhyun, this is Streamer Kim. He hesitated this. The screen showed. Sender Kang Seo-jun. Hello, Guhyun, this is Streamer Kang Seo-jun. As promised, I'm sending you the 6 million won commission from the other day. Please reply with your bank account information. P.S. There is a pretty funny donation message. I'll send that to you too. Naeun was astonished. 6 million won. And you don't want to be on camera? Guhyun pondered the message. Suddenly, his eyes froze. The screen showed. Anonymous Viewer 62. Hello, Guhyun. It's good to see you again. How do you feel about returning to reality? There is a special new mission prepared just for you. I'll be watching your streams from now on. Guhyun thought, they know I'm from the other world, and that username is clearly aimed at me. Test subject 62. He slammed the table and stood up. Who is it? Who knows I'm back? Can you find out the donor's information? Naeun looked bewildered. Why are you suddenly asking that? No way, the terms don't allow it. You can't message them directly either. You can only interact with them through the live stream. Hyuhyuan paid close attention. I'll do it. She was surprised. Hyuhyuan said coldly. I'll live stream. Naeun laughed loudly. Really? You can't back out now. Everything in the cafe went quiet, but the announcement board lit up, displaying 20412020. Breaking news. Hexalot production appears on a private broadcast. On August 2nd, 2041 at 7 p.m., the Big Pack Game live stream will premiere. Ests Hextalat Chasanchin John. A golden Friday evening, a time to enjoy relaxation, each person with their own expectations. Those who proudly call themselves self-proclaimed gamers, all gathered before their computers with one heart and one mind. Riverstream community, please adhere to the community guidelines. Is there still 5 minutes left? I heard that Cha Sanchin's dad is a commentator for the painting tournament. He's good at 0-3. What if Hey God doesn't show up for? I've rewatched the broadcast 5 times already. Jami-on is I0. She's a blur bird, supposedly Haig Seiko's friend, right? My post, is anyone else waiting with pre-ordered chicken for lunch? I'll start first, lol0. Waiting for Haig Seiko's broadcast 5 minutes before the game starts at the Rivers Planet broadcast studio. Nazin started to get scared. It's about to begin. I'm so nervous. Cha Saunkian, excited, said, don't worry too much. We've prepared thoroughly so there won't be any problems. Cha Saunkian, the professional commentator for Rivers Planet. Even though I was extremely nervous when I first received the invitation to commentate, I never thought anyone other than Sajjun could invite Hexiko. Nazian chuckled as soon as I said I was Guhan's friend. He immediately agreed to appear. Suddenly the live screen lit up. It's time for the live broadcast. Cha Saunkian cleared his throat. Yes, Nazian began. Hello everyone, I'm John Neon. Cha Saunkian also sat up straight. It's an honor to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Cha Saunkian. Comments appeared, it's broadcasting, it's finally. Well, where's Hexiko? Bring him out, bring him out, bring him out, Nasan exclaimed. It seems many of you are confused because Hexiko 1 isn't present from the start. But let me tell you, it's too early to be disappointed. Wu Han appeared on screen. Hexiko's in the game. The comments are saying it's Hexiko. Whoever said it was a scam, Gao, his appearance. How do you spin that knife so coolly? Currently, I'm very worried about privacy protection mode. As you can see, the hacked her content will be presented as a reality observation TV show. We'll share our thoughts and comments as we watch Hexiko 1 play the game. You must be very curious about how Hexiko 1 plays EPL. Na sound left and said, so shall we begin? The message screen appeared. Message from Na sound. Go for it. Hu Han's finger decisively pressed the intercom button. It's starting. The other end of the line spoke. A message from the Otherworld Management Bureau. Rescue the survivors so they can safely escape the forest and join us. System notification. Main mission. Join the Otherworld Management Bureau. Evade the guards pursuing the escape test subjects and join the Otherworld Management Bureau located outside the forest. Hu Han thought, just like last time in that world, he was busy running away. He suddenly stopped, startled by his own thoughts. This time, Hu Han braced himself, took a deep breath, and yelled loudly. 2 players in the distance were drawn by the shout. They turned around, ready for battle. The 2 of them charged forward. He's here. Surround him from 3 sides. Gu Han quickly reached behind him for his chain. His body turned dark and ferocious. All of you. Gu Han's arm swung, taking out several people in one move. We'll die. The others continuously shot at him, but the chain was expertly controlled. Finally, the chain closed in on the gun. A piercing scream echoed along with a huge explosion in the forest. They charged with swords. Come at us. Die. The chain began to wrap around the person behind him. The chains linked together tightly, binding both of them. The chain was swinging with immense force. Hu Hyun's hand bluntly threw both of them to the ground. Their heads spun, and blood filled their mouths. He didn't hesitate, jumping on top of them. Hu Hyun's body was completely dark. He's here. You vermin. Don't let him escape. Hu Hyun closed his eyes behind the mask, but he was still a bit exhausted. Na Zhao's jaw dropped. This isn't the ZPL I know. Chai Xiangjian added, this is the first time I've seen this kind of gameplay in all my years of commenting on ZPL. Gathering enemies without any strategy. The commentary appeared. Hey God's mere existence is a strategy. When you're looking for trouble, make the enemies come to you. That's common sense, right? I'm reevaluating my assumption that he only takes down enemies he encounters. I thought he was crazy when he started yelling. I was doing something else and had to switch over after being startled by the lull. The system popped up. My love card donated 50,000 troops. Isn't the absolute entity too overpowered? What kind of skill has no cooldown? Nazian said, what do you think about the comment that the absolute entity is too overpowered? Chazian replied, I can confirm that it's not overpowered. Most skills have their own cooldowns. That's why Hexiko 1's character build, which uses core elements, that don't have cooldowns, might seem like cheating. But when the absolute entity only amplifies physical abilities, it doesn't improve combat intelligence or weapon proficiency. And Hexiko 1 is playing without any training, right? To put it a bit extremely, it means that if Hexaco 1 had enough physical stats, he could fight like that in real life too. The absolute entity works that way because Huxi Khan is using it. Yu Hian's dark eyes were still focused. Many people started appearing, yelling and surrounding him. You're standing among those who have been defeated. Kim Ki-won, team leader from the Otherworld Management Bureau. We're from the Otherworld Management Bureau. Drop your weapons and surrender peacefully. The Otherworld Management Bureau is a government agency that specializes in conquering invading entities that pass through spatial gates. It mainly trap and conquer dangerous invading entities within the inverted world where dimensions are mixed. Gu Han raises arms, Director Kim Cheon. Oh, I guess he's a team leader now. I can't believe I'm seeing him here. Kim Cheon was a little startled. That outfit. You're the victim who escaped from the lab. I apologize for this rudeness. Everyone, step back. Gu Han replied, it's okay. Kim Ki-won continued, but that walkie-talkie, an agent inside the lab gave it to me. He sighed, he must be dead. Gu Han thought to himself, team leader Kim Ki-won is still as kind as he was in the other world. Kim Ki-won continued, well then, please stay at the Otherworld Management Bureau until your identity is verified. Gu Han nodded. All right, he replied, thank you for your cooperation. Let me lead the way. The system announced, main quest, join the Otherworld Management Bureau completed. You have leveled up. You have received 1 PowerPoint. At this time, it was sunset at the headquarters of the Otherworld Management Bureau, and Gu-hil was sitting in a room. Is this the Bureau's counseling room? I can't believe I ended up here. After escaping from that lab in the other world, I took requests from the company to accumulate money for revenge. The requests included assassinations and kidnappings, but the biggest part was Gu-hu fighting monsters and conquering the inverted world. Corporations would risk clearing inverted worlds for spoils, and when they deemed the spoils no longer valuable, they'd dump the cleanup on me. Getting involved with the Otherworld Management Bureau was inevitable. Sometimes we cooperated on conquests, but there were also many times we clashed and pointed swords at each other. Suddenly, there was an interruption. Hello, Mr. Baek Kyu-yun. I'm Sajjun, an agent from Unit 1 of the Otherworld Management Bureau. A comment popped up. Sister Dujin, her beauty must be in the top 3 in BBL. Gu Hyan was a little wary. Lee Dujin, please started pulling up a chair. You've been through a lot to get here. Lee Dujin spoke up. Now you have 2 choices, Mr. Gu Zujin. First, live as a civilian under the protection of the Otherworld Management Bureau. In this case, using your powers is strictly forbidden. And second, become an agent of the Otherworld Management Bureau. Of course, in the second case, you won't immediately act as an official agent. You will receive appropriate training and will be deployed when we deem you ready. Suddenly, Gu Hyun frowned. In the other world, I even took down Bureau agents, and now I'm coming. A colleague. Yujin's cheeks flushed. So, what do you choose, T? A civilian or an agent? His palms clasped together. Why, well, the viewer commented quite angrily. Don't stop the broadcast here. If I choose civilian, I'll just be taking corporate missions again like before. I'm not going down that path now that I'm here. I will become an agent of the Otherworld Management Bureau. Shujin was excited. He's right. If Mr. Guhyun joins, it will be a great help. Recently, corporations have been constantly recruiting awakened individuals, so we're short on manpower. It's not because I'm a bureau agent that I'm saying this, but many people regret signing contracts with those corporations. Those companies are still in the early stages of training, so their experience and skills in nurturing awakened individuals are almost non-existent. On the other hand, the Bureau of Otherworldly Affairs is an organization with a long history and extensive experience in nurturing awakened individuals and eliminating reverse worlds. Of course, the corporations offer better pay, but it comes with a lot of dangers. Du Hyun thought to himself, many awakened individuals on that side have also lost their lives while performing company missions. Some places were even reckless, not bothering to pay, and in the end, I had to cut them open to get my money. Because of that, I was exposed as an unregistered awakened individual and was monitored by the Bureau of Otherworldly Affairs for a while. Looking back now, I met Chief Kim Ki-on then. As I continued, so now I will ask the technical team to register Gu-hyu as an awakened individual. And this is your official phone. He held the phone in his hand and asked, so what do I do now? She explained, as I said, first you'll be trained as an intern, your abilities will be verified, and then you'll be promoted. At that time, the team will be decided. Jujin emphasized, it would be great if we were on the same team. Yu-hyun stood up and replied, honestly, I hope so too. I still owe Jin a favor from back then, even though we've crossed paths quite a few times since then, Jujin said to the innocent victims trapped in the research lab. He thought, thanks to Yu Jin leading the attack on the research institute, he and his colleagues were able to survive. She shook his hand and said, I look forward to working with you, Junior. Hyun replied, I look forward to learning from you, Senior. Nazian was surprised. Wait a minute, guys, isn't there something weird about this? Asus don't usually talk like that, do they? Nazian once asked, can I change my path midway? Yujin replied, civilians and agents. Which side do you choose? Nazian was furious. Hey, she continued. Yujin, I wasn't like this. Cha Sanchin's eyes widened. No way. Is this a full response AI? Comments appeared. RP. This game is amazing. I can do this too. What is a full response AI? Cha Sanchin explained. What is a full response AI? Cha Sanchin explained that a full response AI is a type of NPC AI that can respond completely to all situations and requests unlike regular NPCs. It can communicate freely like a real person. It's a technique that consumes a lot of resources, and experts thought it couldn't be integrated into online games. Nazian added, maybe. They've completely solved the resource issue. He replied, no, if that were the case, they would have advertised it everywhere. Perhaps this technology is only activated when special conditions are met, and perhaps that minimum condition is not supporting from the start. The only difference between Big Brother Haig and other users. System notification shows combat support at 0%. Nazian chuckled awkwardly. Beku Hyun, you really or something? The notification board is going to explode, isn't it? Chai Xiang Chen nodded. Yes, I probably won't be able to sleep waiting to see how Planet Earth will announce it. Was interested in this storyline will be very excited. Who knows? They might even invite a big shot as the guest. The much anticipated storyline will end here today, right? Nazian replied, yes, please look forward to the next content. Now we will move on PvP content. Comments appeared. Don't stop here. How can I wait until the next session? At this moment, Gu Han was in the combat preparation room. Anonymous Viewer 62 still hasn't appeared. He remembered the computer screen at the cafe. Instead, if there's a donation or comment from Anonymous Viewer 62, let me know immediately. You have to report it no matter what the circumstances are. Nazian nodded. Yeah, got it. He thought to himself, since Nazian hasn't contacted me, I guess I'll have to keep streaming. A message from BQ appeared. It's ready. Nazian smiled. So next we'll be doing PvE. Today's content is in front of Gyul is a large orb of battle. This is the first time Brother Haig has played battle mode. Cha Xian Zion continued. If that's the case, we'll start with ranked matches. For those who don't know, there are a total of 8 tiers in Reverse Planet, and to reach the bronze tier, you need to win 10 ranked matches. According to statistics, it usually takes players about 2 hours, while professional players take about 30 minutes. A comment appeared. Turns out I'm below average. This game has a lot of toxic players, so luck in matchmaking is also very important. A notification appeared. Mission to promote to bronze within 30 minutes completed. Reward 500,000 currency. Nazian was excited, though a message appeared from within Nazian. Hey, that's awesome, a mission. The first mission has arrived. Can you win 10 consecutive matches in 30 minutes? Comments appeared. Wow, so confident. Thinking a pro is easy isn't that arrogance. Fight Google again. Nazian continued. This is really exciting, isn't it? Cha Sen-chan nodded. So, will Big Brother Hatch succeed? Stay tuned until the end, everyone. A notification pop-up. PvP matchmaking in battle mode. Normal single match successful. Sector 6 residential area. 10 seconds before round 1 begins. Cha Sen-chan suddenly widened his eyes in surprise. He's carrying a weapon I've never seen before. Yu-Hil was ready. It didn't know that the man in black, who retreated to think had close combat skills. As long as he got close, victory was easy. How much had he underestimated Big Brother Hatch? The countdown began, and round 1 started. The man began to summon his power, shouting. An ice bandage, a long line, appeared across his face. Yu-Hil's body moved swiftly behind the man in black. In just a brief moment, his body disintegrated. System notification. Round 1 ended. Winner, beat Yu-Hil. Loser, hidden. Success. Current score. Beat Yu-Hil 2-0 me long bread. A shadow. As soon as he provoked you, you easily defeated him. System notification. Current score. Beat Yu-Hil 2-0 me long bread. Winner. China. Beat Yu-Hil. Loser. China me long bread. System notification. Yu-Hil entered the third match, The large man also had a long mark on his face. The system notification. Current score. Beat Guhel 2-0 Guinea Pig and Company. Winner, China, beat Guhel. Loser, China, Guinea Pig and Company. The man in the fourth match wasn't having an easy time either. System notifications kept popping up 11 minutes until victory. E in a regular match 2-0 8 minutes until victory. E in a regular match 1-0 6 minutes until a 2-0 match 63 minutes until a 2-0 match. Nazin and Sajjun Trayon were very surprised. Beat Guhel won 10 consecutive matches in just 20 minutes. On the site, his body was still perfectly fine without a scratch. System notification. Promotion. Beat Guhel and ranked bronze. Nazian was stunned. Oh my god, really? How do I say it? I feel left behind. Cha Zichen smiled awkwardly. 10 consecutive wins in 20 minutes. Comments appeared. What the heck? Is this crazy? It feels like a wall breaking all the pros' records in one word. Go. Cha Zichen continued. The time is unbelievable, but what's even more surprising is his match record. Normally, when facing counter skills or high risks, performance tends to fluctuate. The interviewer waved his hand. I have trouble dealing with flame. He continued, but with Brother Hatch, no matter what skills his opponent has, he maintains a perfect performance, completely unfazed. Throughout the match, he truly gets stronger as he fights. A notification popped up. Pineapple has donated 500,000 coins. How did he do that? Nazian was excited, thanks Pineapple. I'm really looking forward to it. I wonder how he'll perform in the next ranked game. Isterchin chuckled. Me too, but I'm also a little worried. She asked curiously, why? He continued, well, since he's streaming, isn't he an easy target? But anyway, the success rate isn't that high. I hope I'm just overthinking it. A comment appeared, if you bet on it. The system announced. The each making successful for dual mode, solo regular, area 11 cemetery. A man appeared. Oh, alright. Finally, I met this X-Face guy. You guys watch closely, okay? Watch me teach that hacker a lesson. Comments appeared. Could it be that he's already being targeted after just ranking up? What now? Super expert. This hacker X. Hi. See, guys, this is the average skill level of these dung beetles. The publisher said it wasn't true, but he was too persistent. Gu Hen's face darkened, ready to draw his sword. Chai Xiangchen said, Brother Hatch didn't react to the provocation at all. Na Xiang replied, I told him to ignore people like that. Her cheeks flushed red. And also, Chai Xiangchen interrupted. It started. The system announced. Round 1 ended. Winner, Yihan. Loser, Anonymous. Current score, Yihan 1, Anonymous 0. Leo's face was pain. He slowly whispered to Monster. System announced. The next round will begin immediately. Round 2 will start in 10 seconds. Leo gritted his teeth. If this keeps up, I'll lose again. I need to use it. System announced. Round 2 begins. Electricity surged through his body again. Before Guhyun, there was a powerful surge of electricity, something. The electricity throughout his body suddenly struck the rock. Yu Hin thought to himself, sharper and stronger than before, moving more efficiently like a different person. Leo excitedly shouted, see that hacker? He continuously attacked Guhyun. I only let you win the first round. His arms were crossed, covering his face. So it was the hacker. Nazian spoke up. I remember now. Like if you met a provocative hacker. She laughed to crush him. That's what I said. Huan's eyes suddenly turned dark. Suddenly power surged throughout Guhen's body. Because of that, the atmosphere suddenly. No, there's no need to be scared. Everyone felt that they had an overwhelming advantage. Leo started to charge forward. Don't act cool. His feet quickly jumped, moving away from his position. Yu Hen lightly brushed his blade past him. Leo's eyes widened, frozen, unable to resist. He angrily turned around. Again, the blade grazed Leo's arm. He swung his fist with all his might. Yu Hyun didn't hesitate, swinging his sword back up. Leo could only look down, gritting his teeth with tears streaming down his face. The screen was still lit up as the match continued. Nazin gave an awkward laugh. Everyone, it can't be. Chai Xiangchen was also extremely surprised and stammered. Yes, Nazin said. It seems he deliberately avoided the finishing blow, didn't he? Chai Xiangchen continued. I think you're right, the divine mechanic is really following Naeon's advice completely. She gave an awkward laugh. Well, of course, I told him to crush him completely. But comments appeared, a monster created by Jong Naeon, the terrifying woman. Anyway, it's all because Jong Naeon gave him that advice. I'm scared of the advice she'll give next. Ha, Leo slumped down. What is this guy? Huyan coldly said, I will return. Those words to you. As soon as he finished, his blade finally swung down, ending round 2. The system announced, final score. Baekuhayan 2, Anonymous 0. Baekuhayan wins, Anonymous loses. After that, Baekuhayan continued his winning streak unstoppable. And immediately after surpassing 30 consecutive wins, Nazian spoke up, he's already reached gold rank. Cha Seongchun added, I never thought he'd set a record 30-win streak in his first broadcast. Comments appeared. I was literally holding my breath watching that. This is what you call S-Moda. What did you eat to get so strong? Can you show us your build? Nazian thought, please, revealing a build is something most people hesitate to do, but should I ask him? A message popped up. Yoo-hoo, by the way, can you reveal your build? If you don't want to, you can refuse. He replied, sure, why not? Nazian continued, everyone, the god of mechanics said he'd reveal his build. I'll compile it and post it on the community board after the broadcast. Cha Seongchun was astonished. Really? Comments appeared. He's actually revealing his build. I only asked, hoping for a miracle. And he actually did it. Isn't revealing a build a sensitive issue? That means he's that confident. Na Seongbot. So we'll see you all in the next broadcast. Cha Seongchun also bowed. Thanks for watching for so long. He's excited, but seriously, it's really crazy. Na Seong laughed loudly. That's right, someone who's completely adapted. 30 consecutive wins and even revealed the build. The community boards are going to explode. At this rate, won't he set a new record soon? What's the current record for the most consecutive wins? Cha Seongchun replied. Currently, the record for the most consecutive wins in duel mode is held by Player Battle with 76 wins. That record was set when he was grinding his sub count. Na Seong was excited. Anyway, it would be great if Guglil set a new record. Now, if it's Guglil, definitely agreed also. Cha Seongchun continued. If it's Butler, who's known for his competitiveness. He's probably already got his eyes on the god of mechanics by now. Slow finger was clicking the mouse button, moving. On the screen was the reverse thumb community. The arrow kept scrolling up. The finger was still slowly moving the mouse on the screen. Report result notification. The reported player has been penalized for using illegal third-party programs. A permanent ban has been issued according to the terms of service. Butler, leaning on his chin, suddenly sighed, a bit fed up. There was text on the screen. Seriously, even Butler couldn't break this record. He read the text. Even Butler couldn't break it. He smiled. Interesting. A few mornings later, the second broadcast. Dahil pondered. The viewer in 62nd place finally. He didn't appear in the previous broadcast, which means I'm still missing something. Suddenly, a piercing call interrupted the atmosphere. Junior. Shujin happily waved at him from the side. She looked as beautiful as ever with a radiant smile. Comments appeared. Sister Shujin, who adapted completely. So cool. And Ripples, a failure. Her appearance truly makes her one of the top 3 most popular NPCs in Ripple. She's really too beautiful. She said, this is your first combat mission. Aren't you nervous? He replied, the combat mission came. A bit faster than I expected, but I'm fine. A new mission window popped up as soon as I logged into the game. The system announced, your first combat mission has been assigned. Change into your combat attire and report to the designated location. Shujin, he thought, a trainee agent has already received the combat mission. It's good that I can skip the training part since this is the game. So, what's this combat mission about? Shujin explained, we need to completely eliminate the invading entities within the inverted world and seal off its exit. We've received reports that they might become aggressive. It's another place that was abandoned by the corporations. We tend to leave them alone because sometimes they're useful for destruction. But I didn't expect them to just stir things up and then discard them when they couldn't make a profit anymore. Wu-Hu thought to himself, indeed, the things corporations do here and there are all the same. Anyway, the invading entities are insects small in size, and their danger level is rated low fee. He pondered, they're weak, but there are so many of them, so they're very annoying to deal with. The masked soldier put his hand to his forehead. Loyalty, Sergeant Park Jae-han, you are an awakened from the Bureau of Anomaly Management. Lee Soo-jin held up her card. Yes, thank you for your hard work. He replied, confirmed, you may enter. The magnetic door slowly opened. It's scary. I've never seen a gate appear in an abandoned factory. Hu looked at it, wondering why it seemed so familiar. I've seen this in the underworld before. But back then, I was sure it was medium-sized, not small. He hesitated. Is something wrong? Shujin spoke up. Or shall we go in? Suddenly, a loud voice interrupted. Well, look who it is. Choi Hee-young-chin, an awakened, who is spiritually linked with the Jaisin Corporation. What brings our senior Shujin to a small-scale gate like this? Shujin asked in surprise. Choi Hee is Kion. Why are you here? The man walked over and replied. I'm surprised too. You know what? I didn't expect my mission location to overlap with yours, senior. She continued. You gave up and threw it away, and now you're calling it a mission. Don't tell me you're plotting something, Kion replied to He. Plotting? That hurts me. By the way, who is this? Inu Jr. Instead of suffering pointlessly at the management bureau, why don't you try joining a corporation? Shujin interrupted. You're giving He Young-chin sharp look. Don't cross the line. The guy laughed and backed away. All right, I get it. Since I'm leaving this inverted world to you, please take care of it, senior. Choi Hee-young-chin laughed loudly and left. Good luck. Hu Han wondered, who was that? Lee Soo-jin covered her face. He was the first trainee agent I was in charge of. My blood sugar is dropping. After he was recruited by a corporation and left, he started spreading malicious rumors about the management bureau, Cha Seong-kion said. Isn't this the first time the relationship between Lee Soo-jin and Choi Hee-seon has been revealed in such detail? Na Seon added, this is the first time I've seen this too. Usually they just vaguely mention that something bad happened between them. He said, it seems like a broader story is being provided thanks to the influence of someone who has fully adapted. Comments appeared. It would be a huge hidden story if it were revealed. Maybe planet Earth has been hiding something. Shujin stepped forward. Should we use these sad conversations and go inside now? Gu Zhu replied. All right, the door outside is already lit up. It seems they've gone in. So shall we start the plan? 20 minutes later, inside the inverted world, Gu Zhu's two figures coldly wiped the blood from their faces. In front of him was the defeated Zyujin leaning against a tree, a red drap candy lying on the ground with a pool of blood. Just a few minutes ago, Gu-en and Zyujin had just stepped through the gate. She walked forward, warning about the gate. This is the passage to the inverted world. Once you pass through the teleportation gate on the other side, you will enter the inverted world. Yu Zyujin nodded and walked without hesitation. Understood. It's like the other world. Suddenly, a violent tremor prevented them from passing through the gate. Based on his experience, Gu Zyujin quickly realized it was an anomaly. Zyujin was sucked into the gate. She only managed to say, Junior. The light from it gradually enveloped her body. Be careful, after passing through the gate is a dense forest with many bones. Hu Hyun looked around, assessing the situation. This is a forest. Was I just separated from Zyujin? It's common for passages to collapse due to external tremors. First, he lightly spun the knife in his hand, preparing to eliminate the spider creatures. With sharp, determined eyes, he thought, I should deal with these first, and then go find Zyujin. Meanwhile, someone else gathered a stream of lightning into their palm. Zyujin unleashed a dispersed power, a lightning blast that no spider could escape. They almost instantly disintegrated. She found herself helpless against the persistent spiders. They just kept coming, no matter how many she killed. Also, the scale of this forest, no matter how you look at it, seems closer to a medium-sized inverted world than a small one. Shujin sighed in frustration. Sure enough, something was fishy. While she wasn't paying attention, Choi Hee-yeon ambushed her from behind. I hope my junior is okay. Very quickly, Shujin realized that even though she dodged in time, she still got hit. What was that? Shujin backed away, keeping her distance, and the man chuckled. Shujin couldn't believe he would do that. Choi Hee-yeon angrily cursed him. You idiot, chase her. Despite her efforts, she was still too slow. To increase her chances of escape, Shujin clasped her hands and used electricity. She spread her arms, creating a lightning spear. Immediately after, Shujin gripped the spear, ready to fight. She used all her strength to somersault and hurl lightning backward. The lightning bolt caused the ground beneath them to explode. At that critical moment, she found an escape route. Hey, you jerk, why didn't you stop her? Damn it, because of you, we lost her. Choi Hyen-kan gave rapid orders. Go search ahead. But after they. Left lies Yujin finally sat down. She breathed a sigh of relief. If it weren't for that centipede cave, I would have been in big trouble. Anyway, a secret mission. What is this corporation plotting? This corporation plotting. At the same time, Gu-hyun sighed excited to fans. That's it. Why were they finished off with just one blow? It looks like he's already killed dozens of them. He looked at the footprints on the ground and said, I'm sure I felt Yujin's presence here. He bowed his head slightly, realizing something had happened. Suddenly, a familiar dark aura appeared nearby. Gu-hyun quickly realized and ran to her. It was Yujin's voice. His speed was so fast that the signal transmitter couldn't keep up. Sajjun was being tightly coiled by a giant bug. Sister's Yujin is in danger. How could she lose to those bugs? Either way, does anyone know how he knew she was here and ran to her? Without any wasted movement, Gu-hyun rushed forward. With just a few simple moves, he saved her from it. Gu-hyun caught Yujin, preventing her from falling hard to the ground. He gently laid her down and asked, Are you okay? Sajjun softly called out, Junior. Gu-hyun quickly noticed something unusual. An experienced person like Yujin couldn't be defeated by these ordinary bugs. This injury was caused by an ability. Considering the situation, an awakened person could have caused this. He guessed it was that person. Yeon-kian. She nodded. Yes, it seems he's been following right behind us. Outside, Nayeon felt confused. Doesn't everyone think it's strange that Yeon-kian usually ambushes later? The comments also agreed. He attacks in the storyline related to the corporation, but has that already happened? What's going on? Is something happening? She turned to ask Estrichan. Is it because of the fully adapted influence? He thought the same. For now, that's the only guess we can make. A hidden storyline is truly interesting. Let's just watch for now. Meanwhile, Zuling's face was flushed. I just barely cut him in half, but I don't know when he'll ambush me again. Moreover, if I use my ability, there's a risk my position will be exposed. So, Junior, you should escape first. Gu-hyun had other ideas. First, bandage your wound. Hide for a bit, I'll go deal with them and come back. She immediately disagreed and stopped him. No, Choi Youngchun is a veteran awakened. You can't face him alone. Gu-hyun cut her off. It's fine, he nodded reassuringly. I have a plan. At the same time, by the river, Choi Hei and his group were gathered. Where the hell is she hiding? He sighed and gave orders. Anyway, in that condition, she can't have gone far, so search this entire valley and in. In the meantime, I'll go down and find the target. Suddenly, something caught Choi Hei's eye, and he attacked with fiery hands as a precaution. Gu-hyun put on an innocent face and pleaded, Wait a minute. The fanged man asked again, Are you Yujin's Junior? Before answering, he complained, I'm alive. Unexpectedly, the path suddenly collapsed and I was separated from Senior Yujin. Do you know what happened? The comments were surprised. What kind of acting is this? Even without seeing his face, I know his acting skills are top-notch. Rest in peace, Choi Hei. He pretended to be friendly and put his hand on Gu-hyun's shoulder. You still don't know, do you? Well, the thing is. Hyun-chun smiled and said, You too will. Meet if you just go to sleep for a bit. The liquid splattered everywhere. Before he could understand what was happening, Gu-hyun had already turned him into a yakir. When he realized it, Hyun-chul trembled. Below were delighted comments. He really deserves to be stabbed by this. So accurate. He clutched his wound and collapsed, causing his teammates to rush over and worry. What's wrong? What happened? And you quickly slipped away. His teammate helped Hyun-chul up. Oh my god, are you okay? Meanwhile, Gu-hyun successfully blended into the bushes. The other person, while supporting him, shouted, Let me bandage him. Go after that guy. Kang Jin immediately drew his weapon and chased after him. Got it. He went deep into the forest, unaware that he was being watched from afar by Gu-hyun from a nearby tree branch. Damn it, where did he go? Kang Jin looked around, and suddenly a shadow appeared behind him. He couldn't have gone far. Like a gust of wind, he appeared right behind the guy. What was that? Kang Jin reassured himself. You scared me. What was that? Then Gu-hyun quickly made his move before the guy could suspect anything. On the other side, his teammate was trying to stop the bleeding. Hey, stay conscious. Now stop the bleeding. You just need to get out and get treated. Suddenly, something flashed in the sky, then flew straight into Hyun-chul's wound, making him spit blood. His teammate looked around and yelled, This crazy guy. You slowly walked closer to them. Seeing this, the other person stood up cautiously and asked, Where's my teammate? But only received silence from Gu-hyun. He raised the sword in his hand as an answer. The other person realized it was his teammate's sword and unable to control. His anger, he unleashed his technique and lunged to attack you. Then simultaneously, he launched sharp knife-like stones I will get revenge. Unharmed, Gu Haiyan calmly sliced all those stones with a single stroke. The other person still wouldn't give up and unleashed another technique. Not yet. Then he activated it, causing the ground beneath to rise. Pieces of earth and large rocks were launched towards him. Earthquake. Gu Haiyan remained calm and looked around. Then he quickly chopped down a nearby tree using the trunk as a support and rested a branch against another tree, creating a shield just big enough for Gu Haiyan to avoid being buried by the previous earthquake. Seeing this, the other person became furious. You monster. While he was hiding behind the log, a sharp rock emerged near it. A huge rock was launched towards Gu Haiyan, a stone spike, but he quickly dodged it. Gu Haiyan's face remained expressionless as he watched the rock fly closer and closer to him. A piece of rock successfully stabbed Gu Haiyan's arm. Seeing him, naturally rushed towards him. The other person continuously threw rocks in self-defense. On the way, Gu Haiyan drew his second sword, and with one slash, then another, he cut the big rocks in half. Finally, in the blink of an eye, he finished off the unlucky villain. The other person couldn't believe it and trembled, unable to speak. A notification appeared in front of him. Gu Haiyan sheathed his sword and let out a sigh of relief. Whoosh comments popped up continuously. Crazy. Insane. I held my breath watching that. I worship ambush. Nasam watched, completely stunned. She was sweating profusely with just one core element, 1 versus 3 dogs. Meanwhile, Cha Sanchin next to her was ecstatic, immersed in admiration and trust. Comments also popped up. It feels like a wall. But Chasen is doing his first mission. Is the difficulty right? I was truly dumbfounded. I'm not kidding. Gu Haiyan looked at the wound he just sustained. He ambushed 2 guys, but still got injured like this. He's still not as good as he was in the other world. He didn't pay much attention to it. Well, let's check around. Gu Haiyan checked Choi Hyang-chun's phone and found a message. Zhu Jin and the target will be sent to the inverted planet. Capture P for mention. If not possible, authorize elimination. Choi Hyang-chun's phone. He read the message while searching the corpses. There was nothing left. The only message was from Zhu Jin. The investigation has been transferred to the Bureau. And the equipment appeared. The returning blade. The first effect slightly increases the sharpness of the blade. The second effect, when thrown, allows it to return to your hand at will. These effects only apply in EVA. Next is the bracelet. The first effect increases the power of psychic abilities. The second effect reduces the cooldown of psychic abilities. When thrown, it can return to your hand at will. The last item, Hermit's Necklace. The first effect can be used. Black Tiger. The second effect stores equipment at any time. These effects only apply in EV. Wu Hin held the returning blade and thought, I can check the effects right away. This is truly a game. On the other side, we had to guess. The effects through trial and error. Then he threw the 3 swords into the space portal. Anyway, he was temporarily resolved, so he had to hurry. Yu Zhu thought to himself, conquer the inverted planet before Yujin's wounds worsen. Yujin was stunned for a moment. Oh, facing her now is a giant scorpion monster, a boss entity, the Scorpion Emperor. Yujin, holding her wound, laughed sarcastically. Well, how unlucky to come to this exact place again. Or should I call lucky? She thought to herself, what if it had gone to my junior instead? Suddenly, it swung its claw to attack Shujin. She gathered energy in her hand, preparing to strike. Somehow I have to deal with it myself. Shujin charged forward, intending to fight the scorpion. Electricity shot from her hand, scattering. But before she could attack, its claw suddenly fell to the ground, surprising Dujin. A figure appeared from the smoke, who was standing on top of the scorpion. Hu Huingo, cool as ever, held a sword in one hand and stepped on the sword, plunged into the scorpion with 1 foot. He asked, are you okay? Shujin was still dazed, her eyes sparkling as she looked up. Junior, the comments are popping up again. Sister Shujin, Sister Shujin, Sister Shujin. Oh my god, fighting the boss with that body. She's already dealt with all the regular soldiers, high-ranking ones. And now even the boss. He noticed the crack appearing in the sky. The inverted planet was starting to close. Yu En jumped down to her. You really took down those dog-like creatures by yourself. You did it. He said, let's get out of here. I'll carry you. The comment section was filled with completed while the passage collapses. The closure begins before escaping. On the screen was an image of Gyo Yunkong Li Jundi. Chai Ziongchen followed her. That's right, so we have to escape before we get stuck. He told her, so hold on tight. Li Jun behind him. Okay. Beneath the shattered sky, Gu Han carrying Zhujin approached the space gate. A continuous notification appeared. Gang complete, received 1 spirit point. Leveled up, received 1 spirit point. At the headquarters of the Otherworld Management Bureau, Kim Ki-won, the team leader, asked, "Is it true that Dujin was attacked by an awakened from the corporation?" He replied, "Yes, it's true." He rubbed his head. "Those corporations, they finally crossed the line." "So what happened to them?" Hyun answered, "I took care of all of them." Kim Ki-won looked up. "Took care of them? How could you do it alone?" He recalled a past memory. Kim Ki-won continued, "Do you have any usable evidence?" He placed the phone on the table. Their phones. The message showed the commands, but the rest was encrypted. He told him, "Good, that will make the investigation easier. Leave the rest to us and get some rest." Gu-hyun also stood up and replied, "I'm leaving." Seeing him walk away sullenly, he was called back. "Wait," he reminded Gu-hyun. "Just a small reminder. There will definitely be another chance next time." Kim Ki-won advised, "Until then, you have to be patient, understand?" Gu-hyun looked down and replied, "Understood." A notification appeared. First field mission completed, leveled up, received 1 attribute point. Choose your second core element. Nazian sat with Chai Xiangchen, sighing. The first field mission is over. He said, "A more spectacular sight than I imagined." Hi. She looked at the tablet and was surprised. "I'm sure the viewers are very happy." A notification popped up. Anonymous Viewer 62 has donated 3 million troops privately. Congratulations on clearing the first gate. This is a special mission. Nazian immediately sent a message to Gu-hil. Anonymous Viewer 62 just sent a gift and a message. He donated 3 million troops. That's amazing, he mumbled when he saw it. Finally, her message continued to come through. "I'll send you a screenshot. Now, I'm going to give you a special mission. And the stream first. Gu-hyun guy, special mission. Come to think of it, he mentioned that before, so you'll tell me after the stream." Then a series of comments appeared from Anonymous Viewer 62. "Hello, Gu-hyu. It's good to see you again. How does it feel to be back in the real world? I prepared something special for you." Gu-hyu glanced at the announcement. "Thanks for the message. Let's continue the stream." Nazian quickly sent him an OK sticker. Outside, Xiangchen turned his face and whispered, "Biz Nazian, is something wrong?" She was startled for a moment and replied, "Oh no, sorry." Nazian was embarrassed, blushing as she thought. "So Xiangchen didn't see this gift window?" "Well, it was a private gift. I'll figure this out later. Let's focus on the stream first." Then she regained her composure and shouted excitedly, "Now, let's continue today's stream. Let's keep this momentum going and jump in PvP. Let's surprise him." Yes, Nazian, holding her computer, recounted how in the previous PvP duel, the nuclear technology god had achieved a crazy winning streak and dominated the leaderboard. Xiangchen agreed. "That's right. So what are we going to do for today's?" She hesitated. Today's PvP is a struggle. In 4 modes, players choose one and play 5 versus 5 in a best-of-3 match. A series of comments immediately appeared. What does struggle mean? We're not doing duels. I was looking forward to a winning streak in chess duels. Seriously, are they kidding? They're not continuing because they're afraid of losing their streak. Nazian seemed to have known this and forced a smile. Sure enough, some people objected, but once they see it, I'm sure they'll change their minds. After a while, she winked and said loudly, "Let's start now." Inside the game, the system announced, D-Circle, Standard Escort Mode, Team Matching successful. The 5-person attacking team was in position, all eagerly reading each other. "Hello, let's play a good game. Let's do our best." Xiangchen was quite surprised by this situation. So our first match is Escort. In Escort mode, the attacking team pushes the payload to the objective, and the defending team tries to stop them. Nazian turned his face, posing a big question mark. This is the first time we've seen a 5-on-5 team match. Can the nuclear technology god maintain his reputation? Then the system's voice rang out. Round 1 begins. The car's wheels also started rolling on the road. 2 people stood on the car to protect the payload. 1 person walked behind for safety, and 2 people in front led the way. "Let's go. Let's fight everyone." Seeing this, Gong Cheon wondered, is he standing still? He's using his sharp eyes to observe everything around him. Nazian vaguely thought, is he planning to try a backdoor push? He immediately confirmed, "That's right, usually players stay near the payload. But if a player has skill, a backdoor push isn't a bad idea. But usually, it's not easy for 1 person against 5. As soon as he finished speaking, Gu-hil leaped through every corner on the road. One commentator said, if it were a nuclear tech god, maybe. He saw the lightning-fast movements and thought, it's not ranked, it's a normal match. They're all new players. It'll work. Why didn't they think there were a few noobs here? Everyone looked at Guhel's position on the map and couldn't help but marvel at his incredible speed. He was about to encounter the defending team. Not long after, Guhel drew his sword, hovering in the air above the defending team's heads. He swung his arm back, pulled out a dagger, and with that momentum, Guhel threw the dagger straight down. Immediately, one person was hit, blood splattering, astonishing his teammates. "What the heck?" The blonde-haired guy yelled in panic. "He's backdooring." As soon as he finished speaking, a streak of light flashed across his neck. The system immediately displayed, "Baekhyun killed too easy," and "Baekhyun killed no prison food." As that guy fell to the ground, Guhel landed, startling the remaining players. "What the hell is our team doing?" He watched him slowly draw his sword from his back in disgust. "I'll hold him off. You guys focus on the payload, okay." Then a flood of information popped up. Guhyun killed Potato Heaven, Red Wangjun, Swimming Elephant. His teammates read them, and also exclaimed in confusion, "What's going on?" Kill notifications kept appearing. In an instant, the system updated. Round 1 ends with the attacking team's victory. The players' jaws dropped as they mumbled, "It's over already." The comment section also buzzed, "Look at the teammates' reactions." But it'd be annoying if the match ended before I even saw the enemy. If someone's caring like that, you should be grateful. Outside, Nazian pressed his face against the screen in agreement. "We know he's going to carry the team, but it ended so fast, which was a bit disappointing." Sajjun compared. "Today, he seems even faster than usual, right? Maybe he's in a hurry to do something." She laughed in response. "Who knows? Let's just keep watching." The scene shifted inside the game. Guhan landed his punch on another player. Bam. That guy was knocked to the ground in an instant. Around him were fallen players, and then explosions continuously occurred in the wall area. Conquer. The other team's members were desperately unleashing their skills to stop Guhyun, not forgetting to curse. "What is that bastard doing? Stop him." However, nothing could stop the war god. He dodged those attacks alone and leaped high into the air. Gahan quickly looked out the other two players. Red and white streaks continuously fell before him. Soon after, a flag with blood stains was raised, capturing the flag. And just like that, bitch Guhan swept the battlefield with an overwhelming panic kill and quickly ended every match. The info board reappeared. Anonymous viewer 62 sent 3 million coins. You worked hard today. Now I'll give you a special mission. Open Reverse Planets, new system when you play the game. Nazian's eyes lit up at the money, excitedly thinking another 3 million coins. Then he messaged him. Gahan again. Anonymous viewer 62 cent. A gift with a message. 300 million. Should we use it to host a subscriber event? Or take the whole team out to eat? Or maybe upgrade our equipment? Gahan stammered. Just send the screenshot. After reading it, he muttered, "A new system when you play. So basically, I have no choice but to keep playing PvP." He closed his eyes, tilting his head back, clearly exhausted. Gahan rubbed his eyes and told himself, "For now, I'll just go along with what he wants." A few days later, on the third day of the nuclear exploration segment, he was entering the Space Management Bureau Combat Theory Zone. A message from Sajjun came through. "Junior, I'm injured, so I won't be able to guide you far." "Oh wow, so I found a replacement. Come to the training area and I'll introduce you to them." Nazian curiously asked, who could the replacement be? Sajjun guessed, considering the reputation of the nuclear technology god, they'll probably assign a famous agent. Others chimed in, maybe Kim Ki-on will take over the page. "No way, he looked really busy last time." "It's Kim Hana or Jang Ha-jang." Just then, Sajjun, with his arm bandaged, called out, "Junior, you're here." Han walked over and asked Han, "Are you feeling better?" She teased, "Thanks to you, but I think someone else has to take on the guiding role." Then someone approached, catching Guhan's attention. Sajjun quickly said, "Here she is." Another foot slowly stepped onto the lush green grass. The woman with short hair and a cool outfit introduced herself. "Hi, I'm Kim Hana." The comment section just gained an unexpected fan. "Oh, Kim Hana. First it was Sajjun. Now it's Hana. I'm so jealous." "Buddy, I didn't expect you to be this happy, but I still prefer Sajjun." "I have a preference difference between Sajjun and Hana." "That's the truth." He politely nodded in greeting, pleased to meet her, thinking to himself, Kim Hana. In terms of skill, she's second only to Kim Ki-on. She's definitely second in the Space Management Bureau. In that other world, she was a dangerous enemy. Sajjun playfully said, "All right, since you two have been introduced. I'm leaving. I wasn't even supposed to be here." Hana heard that and angrily retorted, "Vandy, you said you were allowed to go." She immediately turned and ran off, not forgetting to shout back, "I'm leaving her to you." Leaving Hana standing there yelling, "Sajjun, come back." She disappeared from the area moments later, leaving the two of them staring at each other in silence. Hana blushed with embarrassment, but still had to start a conversation. I heard you cruise swords. Do you prefer long swords or daggers? Han glanced over and replied, I use both. Izuzo pondered, both? I wonder what his skill level is. Suddenly, Hana suggested, how about a little sparring match? Mr. Jian's car heard that and started sweating profusely. Nazian looked over, puzzled. What's wrong? He widened his eyes and managed to stammer out a sentence. The way this is unfolding, it's really strange. She looked down at the screen, questioning. Sparring with Kim Hanyu? Isn't it normal for sword users to spar with each other? Now, with both of them holding their weapons and staring at each other, Xion stammered. That's true, but not all players use swords. This setup only works because the nuclear technology god is the main character. Hana Xion's jaw dropped, her face turning pale, and even the commentators were astonished. Andy, that gives me the chills. Now you tell me most of them are ability users. This AI is truly insane. What is it? Everyone watched Gu-hyun swing his sword forward, chattering amongst themselves. Even if it's an advanced AI, I think it's changed the direction of the story. But this development is completely different from other players' experiences. This means this game. Hana also got into a ready stance, while the crowd continued to chatter. Depending on the player's actions, the storyline can unfold in completely different ways. Gu-hyun's pupils glowed a dangerous golden color. Hana immediately raised her sword to her face, and the purple in her eyes clearly showed her readiness to fight. These things are almost like reality. Hana suggested, let's just use swords for sparring, no special abilities. Gu-hyun was stunned and refused. That won't do. My ability is physical enhancement, and it's always active, so even now it's still active. She got into a defensive stance and replied, well, if that's the case, I'll use my ability too. Hana smirked, slowly speaking. So Gu-hyun maintained his composure and coolness. As soon as the word Baijin was uttered, she launched right in front of him. A dazzling streak flashed past Hana's eyes, and Gu-hyun quickly spun around, dodging the attack. He immediately swung his weapon to push her back. Hana stumbled a few steps, but used the tips of her toes to scrape the ground and regain her balance. After that, she gathered momentum and ran forward quickly. Hana swung a strong and decisive blow. Seeing Gu-hyun push back, Seong-kyeon exclaimed in admiration. Kim Hana, indeed. She's not exaggerated. He's really strong. Nazin turned to add to the comment. That must be the god-tier playstyle. Right at this moment, Hana jumped into the air, surrounded by streams of blue light. Chia. Pointing the tip of her sword towards Gu-hyun, who responded. Half right, half wrong. The god-tier playstyle is inspired by Kim Hana. But the Japanese nuclear technology god is also impressive. Right? He wasn't overwhelmed by Kim Hana's speed. After that, she continuously attacked, but none of her blows landed on Gu-hyun. The commentators were incredibly excited. Oh, no kidding, isn't this a priority side quest? How can he be so good? Watching this makes me want to learn swordsmanship. Hana suddenly paused, her eyes wide with surprise. She looked at Gu-hyun's cold face and secretly commented, not only is he fast, but he also exploits openings very precisely. Hana subtly smiled mysteriously and spoke up. It seems I'll have to use a bit more of my true power for this. Immediately, she channeled more energy into her sword, pushing it close to Gu-hyun's face. The accumulated mana grew larger and larger, emitting blue rings forward. Hana held her weapon steady and muttered. Sure enough, she looked at a piece of the net that had just been destroyed by it in Gu-hyun's turning posture, then continued, I thought you'd dodge. The commentators section became lively again. Indeed, Kim Hana is truly terrifying. Is the nuclear technology god still not on her level? The nuclear technology god has only unlocked 2 core elements so far. If he unlocks 1 more, he might be on par. No, maybe even more. Hana raised an eyebrow in praise. You're more excellent than I thought. Gu-hyun nodded humbly. Thank you. He secretly thought if this were a real fight, his winning rate would be less than 20%. Indeed, I'm still lacking compared to that world. She suddenly asked, where did you learn swordsmanship? Gu-hyun looked down and honestly replied, I taught myself. Hana exclaimed in surprise, you taught yourself and reached this level? Good, follow me, there's a place I want to show you. And the system updated. Sparring mission with Kim Hana completed. You have leveled up. The scene shifted to a place with weapons hanging on the walls. Gu-hyun wondered, this place is... Hana looked at the pile of weapons in front of her and introduced. It's the Space Management Bureau's armory. Kim Han-gu from the Interspatial Management Bureau, assistant to the support team leader, happily said, you mentioned that Gu-hyun would need a suitable weapon. Hana glanced at him and confirmed, Yes, that's right. Although I have a weapon I'm using, there's no need to keep using. A type that has no abilities. After saying that, she thought to herself, I think. Hangu quickly bowed and replied, then feel free to pick one. I'll be going now. After he left, Hana waved her hand and said, now it's your turn to choose. Guhan. He looked around, stroking his chin thoughtfully. There are fewer valuable items than I thought. He stood before the blood-sucking spear Ragas, looking at its information. The first effect was increased slashing power. The second was absorbing blood from the spirit to restore health, followed by controlled health regeneration. All only applicable in PvE. He walked over and picked it up, muttering to himself, how's an item that should be on the black market here? Did someone originally steal it from the management bureau? I can't believe I found my favorite weapon from the other world here. Hana saw this and asked, are you choosing this one? Han affirmed, yes, I'll take this one. She exclaimed, a two-handed sword. How interesting. I'll request ownership transfer to you. Nazian couldn't help but be confused. What the heck is this? Normally, a weapon with two options should appear at this stage, and everyone else thought the same. No, that's ridiculous. Why would a male-only weapon appear here? Even though the options are random, only good ones are usually included. When I went to the armory, there was nothing like this. The system quickly announced, user Choco Mazinga has donated 1,000 pence. If all seals were released, that thing would probably become the ultimate weapon. Xion Qian wasn't too surprised. In fact, this wasn't the first time the nuclear technology god had received equipment that didn't match his level. The hermit's necklace he got in the previous broadcast was Olo, a mid-story item. The commentators were in an uproar. Now that you mention it, you're right. I was blinded by the hidden storyline. Achosin appeared in the first field mission. Who cares about that? Sajjun from Makwana Zion continued, those who don't know. The reverse planet has a very clear risk-benefit calculation. The harder the challenge, the greater the reward. She wondered, so, because he defeated Achosin in the very first sweep, he was able to get the hermit-used necklace. He confirmed, exactly. Furthermore, the nuclear technology god successfully completed everything from escaping the lab to sparring with Kim Hana. Nazian, with sparkling eyes, muttered, and the reward for that is a real soul. Sounds very reasonable, doesn't it? Others immediately agreed. He hinted, of course, it's just a hypothesis for now. Let's continue observing. The scene shifted to inside the game. Hana announced. They said the ownership transfer is complete. Ga-un, putting his sword into his inventory space, replied, thank you. Hana looked up, feeling excited, and said, now that you have a new weapon, how about we go on? A sweep to get used to it? The scene shifted to a remote, desolate mountain region. Guhyun and Hana had arrived there through a teleportation gate. The cold here made her shiver. Who would have thought the gate would be on top of a mountain? It just activated out of nowhere. Hana remembered what the Guardian said. The gate would appear a little higher up, but a little higher was a total lie. He tricked her. He said it would be a bit higher. Anyway, this is where beast-like invading entities, resembling wolves, appear. The system quickly displayed an image of wild wolves, difficult scale, low danger. Hana put her hands on her hips and continued, they have a very strong territorial instinct, so they'll be patrolling here soon. Ga-hyun closed his eyes, secretly comparing. Beast-type monsters are tougher than insect types, but everything below rank B is the same. Then he added, good, this saves us the trouble of looking for them. She immediately announced, if the situation becomes dangerous, I will intervene, but for now, I'll just observe. Good luck. Ga-hyun quickly summoned his spirit sword from his inventory and replied, got it. At this moment, the winds continued to howl on the mountain top, and the footsteps of the beasts grew louder. His pupils sharpened as he heard their ear. Ga-hyun immediately got into an attacking stance as the wolves charged. He gripped the hilt of his sword tightly, swinging it back to gain momentum. This would be the first strike. The words, in full power, echoed in Guhyun's mind, just as he unleashed a decisive slash right in front of the fierce wolves. Ga-hyun fought these wild beasts alone without any fear. Not long after, a brilliant red light ran along the blade of his sword. The system abated. The spirit sword's cutting power has increased. The commentators exclaimed, that's it. Perfect score, I told you. Nazian didn't expect him to swing the long sword as lightly as a feather. While Sang Qian cried tears of devastation. User Sang Qian's dad donated 50,000 troops. Extraordinary control. Ga-hyun gripped the weapon in his hand, feeling it. Indeed, from the very beginning, it felt completely different from other weapons. Hana, standing behind him, was sweating profusely and muttering. Her face was pale with doubt. Heavenly Moon's slash.